Sounds good.
All right, and we're live. This is the first episode with the new table.
I was looking at that earlier.
Thing's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, is this epoxy resin?
My buddy's wife just poured it.
Okay.
Yeah, they framed it up in their living room,
Yep.
and she poured, yeah, exactly, epoxy resin with like different paints and kind of swirls it around and shit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking
Rad.
cool, man.
It's really nice.
We,
Really nice.
you've seen people make these with wood, and then they pour this in between and make like cool designs.
Yeah,
and
rivers and all sorts of stuff.
yeah, we were looking into that, and bro, they're like 11 grand.
Yeah, thousands of dollars.
And so I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, dude, my wife can pour one of those. So, like, yeah, here we are.
Yeah, fucking A.
So I don't even know if you can see it on YouTube or not, but I think I'm going to post a picture of it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, bro, I needed today. Today's podcast is not about fucking sending messages out to everybody else so they can seek a path of fulfillment and being better. I'm fucking irritated. And I just need to sit down with a homie and fucking talk, dude.
Let's do it. I'm no saint either.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we told the kids in jiu-jitsu last night, me and Tyler were coaching kids class, and we see them talking all the time while they're fighting.
Yeah.
And I said, look, if I catch Coach Tyler in a triangle, you think I'm going to ask him how his weekend is right now?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. I'm going to try and pop your head off your body, dude.
As you should.
And I said, we can be friends afterwards. We can hang out and talk afterwards. So that's what we're doing.
That's what we do, right?
But bro, you want to know what's interesting about that? We just smoked a joint. So if this episode goes all over the place, just fucking
Blame it on me.
hop on board for the journey with us. All those kids, they were receptive to that message yesterday.
Yeah.
There were smiles on their faces. Usually when I have to correct behavioral issues at the end of class, you can kind of see it zaps their spirit a little bit.
Yeah, they feel down on themselves.
And it's like, okay, I have to bring it up if it's an issue, right?
Yep.
But the other side of that is I don't want them walking out of here not feeling good about themselves. You know?
Yeah.
Like maybe I wish that we could talk about that stuff leading into class, but the truth is it's shit we observe over the course of the hour.
Right.
And bro, like people talking while they're fighting, it makes no sense to me.
Me either, because anytime I've ever been in a fight, especially if I'm on my back or like in a vulnerable position, all I can think about is getting out.
That's it.
Like I can't even think about talking to you. That part of the reason why I love jiu-jitsu so much is it's the only thing I've came to where no matter what's going on in your world, no matter how bad it is, at least when you're rolling live, it's all gone for that period of time.
100%. I think that's, we talk about all the time on the show, the connection with human beings, and then the ability to just kind of dump all the drama of life for the next 90 minutes.
I can't.
Especially 30 minutes. Once you go live.
Yeah, it's when you're live.
There is no bullshit.
Well, because here's the deal. We've stripped our entire world down to the most primal thing of life or death. And I know that if me and you bump, like you say, even though we've made a gentleman's agreement that we're going to tap out.
Yeah.
I still know that you're going to go as hard as you can on me. So if I don't have 100% focus, I'm probably going to die. So
Yeah,
I need 100% focus. And that means that there is 0% of my focus to go anywhere else, whether it's bills or fucking women or whatever the bullshit is that we all endure on a daily basis.
Like you have to be substantially better than someone to start like, and it happens like now that you're, I mean, fuck yeah, you're a brown belt now as of Saturday. And, you know, brown and black belts, if you're going with someone new, your mind can wander.
Yeah.
You know, I actually find myself, and and sometimes I wonder if it's disrespectful. I find myself getting caught up in other people's roles sometimes
While you're rolling.
while I'm rolling with someone, especially if it's an interesting role.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't find it disrespectful. I think you're at the point where you can control this human. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. And now you can actually observe something else simultaneously.
yeah.
That's,
Yeah, there's just, you know how it is. There's certain people like, maybe if a morning guy trains at night and people aren't very familiar with this guy and let's see how he does with whoever, you know what I mean? Like certain roles catch your attention.
Yep.
Or I know Cascade, were you here last Friday?
No.
Okay. So Cascade has a guy named Casey who is basically their version of Jordan.
Okay.
Started wrestling at 4. is, like 220 or 210, like a big, strong athlete who's grappled since he could walk.
Okay.
And Bill brought him with him, and he goes, hey, he doesn't know this, but I'm secretly setting up a super fight with him and Jordan.
Okay.
And I said, fuck, Jordan's bear hunting today. And he's like, no. So that would be a fight.
Yeah.
Two elite wrestlers that are also both purple belts in jiu-jitsu now.
And high-level purple belts.
Yeah.
They didn't just get their purple
No,
belt.
dude. And so it would be cool to see like a fight like that. If Bill was actually rolling with Eli. Uh-huh. And he goes, oh, hold on. Nope. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sitting this one out.
I got to watch.
Well, that actually wasn't when he, like I said, Jordan wasn't there. He ended up getting around in with Daniel.
Okay.
And so Jordan stopped, I'm all over the place. Bill stopped and goes, hey, I got to watch this.
Yeah.
I was like, roger that, dude. It's funny. But yeah, I plan on going back to jiu-jitsu like we always do, because I want to talk about your path that led you to brown belt last weekend. But let's burn through the bullshit first. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah. We talk about the shit that fucking, like Andy Frisella says it almost weekly. We talk about the fucking problems, and then we talk about the solutions. And I think that kind of needs to be the way we approach any type of podcast or media outlet. Because if it's just fucking the shit that sucks with no solution at the end, all you're doing is you're kind of cooking people.
Yeah, you just
fill them with anxiety and then have a nice day. Go. You know what I mean?
That's not helping at all.
And I think a lot of media networks, that's actually what they want to do.
Yeah, look at the news.
Yeah, they want you
just fear porn all day long.
To leave the house or leave your car, wherever you fucking absorbed that media. And they want you to be a diminished version of yourself.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, man. But this new long-term format allows us to dissect the problem and then talk about what we would have done. And it's like, dude, it's the way of the future, man. Because people can actually consume information that is actually giving them guidance, Yeah,
and they love it. I love it. I love it when I'm stuck in fucking traffic or going to working out or whatever it is.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm listening to things that are helping me get further ahead.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, whether it's money, relationship, jiu-jitsu, spirituality, it could be whatever it is. I've listened to almost every type of podcast I swear there possibly is. And I've learned shit from all of them because it's a long format. Yeah. It's not 30 seconds or, 30 minutes of bullshit.
And not only 30 minutes of bullshit, but the 30 minutes of bullshit you're consuming, it's not even like if we did a 30-minute show, right?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a very long form podcast, but it would give people 30 minutes of us. You don't get the real 30 minutes. And I learned that firsthand when my story went viral back in 2020. And I did a handful of interviews with traditional media, Fox News and the local fucking Como 4, whatever, like these news channels that have been familiar to me since I was a child.
Right.
And the way my story was told, now, because of the climate, like the political climate shit, Fox News didn't paint me out to be a bad person, but it certainly wasn't like how the conversation went.
Right.
It was very chopped up and pulling like just a sentence here and a sentence there. And
they fuck with it.
And then before you know it, it's like, dude, what the fuck? Why did I even go on their show and do that? Like, it seems like...
There's no rewind.
Yeah, they just want, and that's when I said, you know what? Moving forward, podcasts. And then I went and did I bet I did 125 or something over the next 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at you got your fucking message out. You got a following. You got a badass gym. You got a beautiful family.
It's the way, bro.
Like, yeah, it's the fucking way.
When I posted your picture on, I put it on one of my stories over the weekend of us saying like the most fucking savage dude I know or whatever, right?
Yeah, you lying motherfucker.
Whatever, bro.
I'm like, this guy, this is exactly how I feel if I stand next to him.
Well, good. That's how it should be, right? Like, and I mean, what is savage?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
There are scenarios when I would probably rather choose my friends that are Delta Force operators over you.
Of course.
Guess what? There's also scenarios when I choose you over them.
Oh, yes.
And there ain't a fucking doubt in my mind, dude.
Yep.
Hey, you're getting dropped off on an island with axes and there's a group of men coming for you. That's a Tyler Stanaway.
That's a Tyler Stanaway.
Bro, please come with me.
Yep. That's it.
But the reason I brought that up is I got a lot of messages in my inbox, and it's like, that's my favorite fucking podcast host.
Oh,
so,
really?
bro, you're growing, man. Like, I assumed you were, just because every time you and I sit down, which is very frequently, people enjoy our conversations. And that's kind of how it went, you know, for me too. Like, going on Andy Stump a couple times, people are like, I enjoy your conversations. You should do a show. You got that enough, and now you're doing it. And it's cool, man.
It is cool. It is cool. I think one of the huge lessons, and this goes into kind of a little path of brown belt, is just when my body or my mind comes up with a thought, and that thought sticks for more than just a couple days, like it's a reoccurring thought or feeling, to act on it. And like, I felt that I wanted a podcast for a long time.
Yeah.
I just never did it. But then it gets to the point where, like you said, okay, well, at some point I got to do something about the problems that I see. If I just go around and see problems in my life and bitch and complain and have zero solution, if I come across someone like that, I say, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you don't really have a right to complain.
You want to just bitch and moan, but you don't.
You want to offer any solutions?
None.
Yeah.
Zero? No. So, okay, I need to come up with a solution. You did it. Okay, I can do it too. And it's going to be different, right? And we're all our own unique fucking person. And
I don't have the herb of the week.
You know,
and that's a lot of people's favorite, from what I understand.
It's crazy. I actually got a message from a woman about changing herb of the week.
And for people that wonder what the fuck we're talking about, that's the opening segment of your show, right?
Yeah. At the beginning, I always do.
Herb of the week.
It's been changed to Viking tip, because sometimes it hasn't been herb. Sometimes it's just been like fucking tips in life.
Yeah. Okay.
And so then this chick was like, hey, you talk about a lot more than just herb of the week. Why don't you do like, I don't know, life tip or something? And I was like, okay, fuck it. We'll change it to Viking tip. Because there's sometimes when I don't do an herb.
Yeah.
I'll talk about a crystal or a mushroom. Well, mushroom's not an herb.
Yeah. Don't you know? Actually, yeah. Fungi, plants.
Yeah, different.
Produce, all that shit.
All that shit. And I'm no botanist, dude. I'm not a fucking like I'm not.
You know
what
what the fuck is a botanist? Do you have a 10-acre farm where you're growing fucking probably hundreds of species of plants?
Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't go to college to learn about it. You just went and did it.
Yeah.
I'll take you over any fucking, you know, whatever fucking grad with whatever letters after their name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That goes back to when you have this intuition or this feeling or this thought that keeps reoccurring. Act on it and understand that you're gonna fucking suck. Like, you just have to accept that in anything that you do. If you ever want to get good at anything, you have to suck first.
Yeah, and bro, I say it often at the gym. That's a gift. Like, if you could come in here, and I tell the new guys this all the time when I see that frustration in their face. I said, if you could come in here and have success against me after doing it for 20 years, this wouldn't be worth your fucking time.
No.
This would be a fucking joke.
Yeah.
So it should actually make you happy that you're feeling this way and that you found a place. Because obviously, if you're coming here and you're seeking this out, you want to learn something new, right?
Yeah.
If you could have success on day one, the place doesn't have anything to offer you.
No.
You're not going to learn anything new.
No, I would have never came back.
Yeah, dude.
Ever.
If you didn't get choked out by a girl?
No. Or grandpa? Nope.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have came back. I would have been like, see, Vanessa, I told you.
What if you had smashed the first two people, the grandpa and the girl, and then you and I had a gnarly fucking round? I bet you still would have been here.
I would have been
because like the grandpa, the girl thing, that's fun to say, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, for me, it's the thought of another human being having that kind of control over me.
Yeah, and that's what actually Craig outside, he's like, I always remember when I first met you, I asked you, why are you here? And you said, I don't ever want another person, man or woman, to ever be able to do that to me again for the rest of my life. Yeah. And I've been here ever since.
Yep.
And now it's going to take a special person to do that to me.
Daniel.
Yeah. Or you, or you know, there is people out there, but
of course.
we're all on the same fucking team now.
Yeah, bro. I was texting with Joao earlier, and Brady and Lappin and like some of the Guns and Geese guys. We have a group thread, right? Yeah. And Brady texts, and he's like, I can't. You know what? I'm fucking over not fucking being 100% transparent. I'm fucking over fat people, dude. I'm fucking over them because what they're doing is, we said, like, what they're doing is they're basically advertising to the world that they don't take life serious one fucking bit.
Yep.
That's kind of what they're doing. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And then Joao chimes in and goes, no, bro, I fucking like it. He goes, because every person I walk by, I size them up if they're weak or if they're strong. If they're weak, I know I can eat them. And if they're strong, I probably need to look at potentially some type of alliance. Yep. That was like his text. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've thought about that. The toughest men I know, I'm far from it. But when even since I was a little boy, right? Little boy, like teenager.
Right.
Where you start to like kind of build your alliances, and it's like, bro, when I was in high school, I was 170 pounds, built very similar to how I am now, just a smaller version. But there was already kids that were like 230.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you know, there's a handful of those 230-pound kids.
Yeah. I'd kick their fucking ass, bro.
They were all friends of me.
Not me.
Oh, they?
Not me. I was the little kid who was hanging out with the girls who was like preppy. Like, I was athletic and a jock, but they despised me. And they would try and fight me at parties, and I'd beat their fucking ass, bro.
It doesn't surprise me at all. See, I went the opposite route with those guys.
Yeah.
I ended up like, and I wasn't part of the football team, but I'd go lift weights with all the guys.
Yeah.
You know? And it was a weird dynamic because I remember like I could go skate with the kids behind Top Foods. That was the food store parking lot that everyone would skate. And I could go smoke a joint with the stoners if I wanted to.
Yep.
Go lift weights with the football team. Like it's kind of interesting because like all these years later, I still kind of live like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I've gotten a lot better, but they respect me now. See, they used to want to like bully upon me.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's it. Is because I was getting the girls and I was little, dude. I was like 150 pounds maybe. And when I was like a junior in high school, I was probably like 5'8". I grew way more when I was 20 than any other time.
Fuck, dude.
But I still had a warrior spirit in me. I was still willing to fucking throw down forever. And I remember, have I ever told you about the story about the dude with the steel plate in his forehead?
No.
Bro, this is the gnarliest fight.
Someone's screaming, hey, he told that story on episode 62.
I don't think so. Yeah. Fuck, I don't think so. There's I have a few crazy stories, but this one in particular, there was a dude who was way older than, he was in his 20s, but I knew who he was. He had a reputation for being like the most badass dude around Linwood.
And you were how old?
I was like 17.
Okay.
I think I was a senior. Yeah. Senior, junior, something like that. Anyways, I'm at this house party and I come out this sliding glass door. There's a bunch of fucking people there. Kegger, you know, and there's this girl and Mackenzie. Actually, her son trains in the kids class. Shout out to Mackenzie. Okay. I'm going to ask you about this next time I see you. Okay. She had a pair of sunglasses on. And for whatever reason, I was like, hey, can I see those? And she was like, no, I don't even remember what happened. I go back inside. Later on that night, I open the door and there's this guy, the guy that I was talking about, the most badass guy in Linwood or whatever. He's fucking big, dude. He's like 230. He's got a steel plate in his forehead from a motorcycle crash, and he's just an ornery son of a bitch that kicks everyone's ass. So everyone has to respect him, right? I don't even know who he is. This is the first time, like, everyone's telling me this.
Yeah.
Okay. I open the door and he says something to me, and I don't even know what he fucking says. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he stands up and he comes over. I have a sliding glass door right behind me. So I literally walk right out the slider and shut it. He walks right in my face and he says, I don't even remember what he says, but he just goes wham and headbutts me right in my fucking, like, right in my forehead. My head bounced.
Oh, with his steel plate. He uses his steel plate as a weapon.
Yeah. Dude, blasted me in my forehead.
Good thing you didn't get your nose.
Oh, he didn't get my nose. I remember he got me right fucking here. My head bounces off the sliding glass door and whack, he socks me right in the face. And I remember seeing stars. And my dad's fucking voice came in my head and was like, look, you don't ever start shit with anyone, But if someone ever starts something with you, you better fucking finish it because you have no idea what this person might do to you, even if it's on accident. And I remember thinking like, okay, I'm still alive. And somehow he had slipped and I got his head in between my knees and I started punching him as hard as I could. And he stands up and puts me on his shoulder and goes to like fucking dump me. And the deck was super slippery. It was, October time.
Yeah.
And you know how the wood gets around here? He slips and he lands in turtle. And he looks up to get up. And I remember thinking like, I'm going to soccer kick this dude right in the fucking face.
You were able to land on your feet?
I landed on my feet. And I looked at him and I kicked his face as hard as I could like a fucking soccer ball. And everyone stopped. He was down. That's a wrap. And from that day on, no one ever fucked with me, bro.
That dude gave you a gift, man.
Yes, he did. And I remember my best friend, Josh, if you ever listen to this, growing up, I look over and I'm like, where the fuck were you? And he's like, I ain't fighting that guy. And I'm like, you left me all alone. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, dude. Sometimes in life, you're going to have to call upon your warrior spirit, man.
Yeah.
And if I would have got fucked up, I would have got fucked up. But what I wasn't going to do is lay there like a bitch in front of all those people and let that guy bully me and make a fool out of me.
And that's what most people probably do.
Uh-huh.
It's like their default is be submissive. So was it like playing dead? Hoping the animal stops attacking you?
No.
Like where does that mindset come from to obey?
I don't know.
Man, fucking obeying never leads down a fucking positive path. Like just one more step, just one more thing, like we talk about all the time here. Like very similar to the government just pushing you back. Death by 1,000 cuts, Yeah. Like bowing down and accepting an entity or a government or an individual bullying you never leads to a good outcome. Period.
No.
No. Like, dude, I remember like yesterday, very different story because I think I was in 7th grade with this kid. And when you're in the 7th grade, you don't really have that capacity to like really injure each other.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, you're like, just changing from boy to teenage.
And so but I remember like getting in the few fights that I got in. By the end of the day, you couldn't even tell we were in a fight. Yeah. Whereas like there's fights when I was 20 where
you can fucking
dudes
tell.
looked like Sloth out of Goonies. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. But this kid pushed me in a wall locker, almost like a scene out of a movie. There's this jockey preppy kid who is, as seniors, we were friends. You know what I mean? Yep. Like, you know how it goes. Yep. And I didn't do anything. And it was just, I remember going home and thinking about it. And I was like, you don't have any other option than to attack people if they do that kind of stuff to you. Yeah. So the next guy that does that, you have to attack him. I don't even know what that means. I don't know how to fight. You know what I mean? Other than just like bullshit. Yeah. No, yeah. And that's exactly what happened. And the next kid, same thing. Like I remember I was trying to choke him. And years later, he told me, he's like, bro, I was passing out. Oh, and I was like, I didn't even know jujitsu, but I just was like, fuck, I found his neck and was like, fuck you. Yep. And sure as shit, bro, as soon as you make that decision and then you get into an altercation or two, now it's over. No one's going to fuck with you anymore. No. And it's the same thing with adults. Like, we don't physically have to go fucking choke our boss out, but if they know that's in there, it's the same thing. There's a shift in how they treat you, how they speak to you.
All my bosses were fucking delusional.
Yeah, dude.
They think I'm doing like karate, taekwondo, kung fu.
It's because they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
But once they know,
dude, I'll fucking eat you, bro.
Yeah, dude. It's funny when people don't understand that jiu-jitsu isn't your fucking local taekwondo academy. No.
The only way they're going to find that out is if they get on the mats. That's the only way.
Yeah.
I've talked to people where they've seen it, they've watched. It ain't the same, bro.
Dude, we have a couple new twins, the twins that just signed up.
Yep.
Speaking of watching, this is what made me think of this. Yesterday, she pulls Jenny aside when the boys were sparring. Because our academy is right on a big community trail that is goes 20 miles in each direction. Yeah. And she goes, and this is cool, right? She goes, I know that this skill for young men to learn is important and necessary. However, watching them do it gives me too much anxiety because I know they're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And Jenny goes, they will get hurt.
Yeah.
She goes, that's it. She goes, you do this long enough, you get hurt sometimes.
Yep.
And we've decided as a business to never portray otherwise. So I tell everybody that, hey, you know, I'm a carpenter and I can't afford getting hurt, but you're going to get hurt.
Yep. And that's on you.
You know what I mean? I have to. There's no one that's been here for more than probably a year that hasn't had some type of injury.
Fuck, dude.
We're fucking fighting.
The first 3 months are the worst.
So, but she goes, so I know that they're going to get hurt and it gives me anxiety. Can I go on walks while they're fighting on the community trail? And Jenny goes, absolutely.
Of course.
But what a cool mom.
Yeah.
This bothers me. It fills me with anxiety, but I know it's good for them.
Yep.
So can I just sit the fighting portion of it out?
Yeah. Mom's trying to make it work.
You know?
Yeah. I love that.
That's fucking rad, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. So what kind of crazy, we got to get into the bullshit and then we got to get to the solution.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw a video that Tim Kennedy posted, and I'll play it. You can't really hear it. Or I mean, you're not going to be able to understand what's happening by listening to it because there's no conversation. But what's happening is a guy is in a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
And he has a garbage can, like the size of my garbage can.
Yep.
And here, I'll play it so you can see it.
Okay.
You do, man. Tell you stop police.
You see that, dude?
Yep.
You can do, man. Tell police come in.
He's just taking a bunch of shit. He's stealing a bunch of shit from 7-Eleven.
Ain't nothing you can do, man. Don't do that.
Okay. And then now the 7-Eleven guy's like, fuck you. Oh, they're fighting? Oh, yeah. His buddy comes over and beats the fuck out of him.
Okay. So
Roger that.
So that's the video.
Okay.
So I looked into this. Dude, that's fucking rad.
I think so.
As
long as what I'm seeing there is actually what I'm seeing.
No, I looked into it.
Okay.
So that's that gentleman is a Sikh. And obviously runs a 7-Eleven, is wearing a fucking headdress, right? Yep. It's not called a headdress, whatever. And that's his 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
It's in California. I don't know what city.
Okay.
And this dude has went in there and robbed the place. That's being robbed.
Yes.
Don't fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a homeless guy going in and he's taking cigarettes, first of all. All right. But I don't give a fuck what you're taking.
Yeah.
You're in my store and you're just blatantly robbing me.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a theft in robbing like robbery comes with like the threat of physical violence. They can infer that dude is an out of control maniac.
Yeah.
Any clerk that has to deal with that can probably infer that there's a potential for me to be hurt here.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
That's the third time that dude's been there.
The third time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were told, like, well, you know, like, we don't know if an officer can respond and we don't know if all the bullshit.
Yep.
Right? So you have this guy who's likely an immigrant, who's likely trying to make it work. And they said, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah,
and
good.
They tackled him, and that dude picked up what looked like maybe a broom handle and fucking whacked him. Right?
Yeah.
Bro, I saw this fucking news article literally today, and it's, this is what is going to cause the implosion in society. Sikh man who thrashed burglar in his 7-Eleven store to face assault charges.
Are you serious?
Okay.
Okay.
So
that's the American way, boys and girls.
Well, first of all, and if you guys can hear the bell going off in the background, that's because it's our police training hour, and we got a mat full of cops out there training as we speak. I talked to them about this, you know?
Yep.
And everybody on the law enforcement side of the house is like, that's not assault. What are you fucking talking about? Like, you are literally defending yourself against an active crime taking place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And dude, it's just property. People are placed above property. No, they're not. When people are victimizing you, you have the right to fucking defend yourself.
How the fuck do those guys know that he's not going to turn around and stab him or pull a gun out and fucking shoot him or something?
You are showing me you have an utter disregard for law. You are showing me that you are a complete maniac. You're deranged.
You're probably on drugs.
On drugs, all that shit.
Yeah.
And you're in my fucking house?
Yeah, no.
And I can't fucking, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, listen. And I went off a little bit last week about the need for vigilantism, right? Mm-hmm. You just got fucking robbed by a meth head.
I did.
or car prowled, burglarized.
They're on drugs.
Yeah.
Sober people don't fucking do that.
I had it happen to me. I was actually just adding up the total. I'm probably looking at $7,000-8,000 of losses
And all of the shit.
over the last year to meth heads. I lost my fucking sauna. My boat linkage to the fucking outboards got all fucking ruined. Substantial amount of money.
Yep.
At what point do we have to go on the offense and say, you know what? Being on the defense and waiting for these people to come and break into your car like they did last weekend, break into Novak's truck like they did a couple weeks ago, break into my boat. If we're always on the defense, we're never going to be able to fucking do any meaningful change.
No.
All right?
No.
You can't be reactive to a problem in your community. You have to be proactive.
Yeah.
And so at what point do men like us go around and fucking shoo these people away with either violence or the threat of violence? Because in my experience, the homeless drug addicts, most of them will respond to the threat of violence.
Yeah, they don't actually. They know they're weak, frail, and fucking. They're not into that. They're scavengers. It's just right now there's no rules.
But the reason I bring that up is that's vigilantism.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a very, very different thing. What we just watched in that video is not vigilantism.
Yeah.
That guy's not out
No.
fighting crime.
No.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
No. He's running his fucking business during work hours.
And he's protecting himself when he is likely in an absolute panicked state of shock. Like for us, men that just grew up exposed to a lot of violence, a lot of fights. For you, it was a very different path, but you went through a gnarly period of time.
Yep.
I went through a lot of gnarly experiences in war, right? The threat of violence doesn't really, it doesn't intimidate me.
Yeah, no, me either.
I just look at it as a problem that needs a solution.
Yeah.
And that might be my fucking demise one day too. I'm not delusional,
Right?
but that guy's brain is likely very different.
Of course.
He was probably filled with a lot of fear.
He's probably scared for his life.
And
or clearly,
fucking-
if he's willing to do that,
Yeah,
I
dude.
guarantee you that guy doesn't do that on a daily basis, you know?
That's a perfect point. Show me the last time he did that to
Yeah,
someone.
exactly. No, he was scared for his fucking life, and you know what he did? He fucking stopped it, and he lived to see another day.
Fuck yeah.
And that motherfucker will never rob that place ever again.
And all the other motherfuckers probably won't either.
No, because as soon as they hear about whatever Tyrone or whatever his name is that
Yeah.
happened down at the local 7-Eleven, they're like, yeah, bro, we probably got to move a couple blocks and bring our tents down there.
But fuck, man.
But I'm gonna capture them. I'm gonna fucking make them my slaves on the farm, dude. I'm so sick of them.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, dude.
I'm like, you motherfuckers, you are vultures to society. I don't want my kids around you. You leave needles. I can't take. It's my son's birthday, like maybe a quarter mile from my house. I take him out paddleboarding. We have the whole river all to ourselves. We're parked at the fucking little white church on the hill that my great grandparents are buried at from Norway.
Fuck.
And I hear I'm actually listening to your podcast with Anthony, laying on a sheet down at the river, letting the boys paddleboard, and I hear the fucking alarm go off. Well, why would my alarm go off? There's no one around, and I'm at the church. Someone's breaking into the car. I get up there. I'm too fucking late. I see what car it is. But why? Why? Like, the thing is that good people, I'm not a bad fucking person. I put a lot of effort into trying to make a better community, and everyone knows that.
Yep.
And so do you, and so do all these people who are putting love and fucking energy back into building up our society. But yet we are becoming the victims of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not a motherfucking victim.
That's right, bro. That's it.
I'm not a victim. I look at that and I say, okay, next step. Next time I see you motherfuckers, I'm going to bring you to my house. I won't kill you. I'll shackle you up and make you fucking clean up chicken shit and goat shit forever. And if you do anything, I'll slit your throat.
Yeah. Fuck you, dude.
If you don't like that, then be an active participant of society. Don't break my motherfucking windows. Don't leave needles all over the place. You know?
Bro, and the thing is, it's like the only reason that these people do this, it's because they're addicted. No, it's not because they're addicted. It's because they know they're safe.
Yep. I was addicted too. I was a heroin addict.
Yeah.
15 years ago. I mean, not like a bad one. I never fucking shot up or anything, but I was down that road. Mm-hmm. I got in a lot of trouble with the fucking law because of it. There's no excuse.
That's what I'm saying.
There is no excuse.
Regardless of their addiction, if they knew, fuck, man, 7 out of 10 times when I break into a car, I lose teeth.
Yeah.
it would become a self-correcting error.
100%.
It would.
Yeah.
And that's just what we have to go back to now. And I don't have a choice. That's the thing, dude. I don't have an option to say, well, you know, it's not really worth getting in trouble over, so I'm just going to let it slide. Because here's the deal. If I let it slide and you let it slide and everyone else lets it slide, when Reagan and Tinsley are 25 years old, they're not even going to be able to walk to fucking Safeway.
No. And what happens when they stop going from my car on the street and they just go to my window on my house?
Yeah.
And they start going in there every time I go to the store.
And so it has to change, right? So, but and this is why I'm tying all this together with that Sikh, because when you as a man make the decision that it has to change, the fucking powers to be try and fucking squish you.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the message. Why do you think they're going after that guy? They don't want the message out there that you can defend your stuff. You don't have the right to defend your stuff.
Yeah.
You don't even have stuff.
Yeah.
It's because it's not even fucking yours, dude.
Yeah.
And that's what they think, dude.
I know.
So they say, no, men that make fucking examples out of people that are victimizing them, we need to squish them like a fucking bug, dude.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. To everybody that's fucking listening, like, what should happen is whatever prosecutor decided to fucking press charges on this guy, an angry mob of citizens should lynch him.
Yeah, 100%. He fucked up some innocent guy's life. I would have done the same thing.
Every man I know would have done the same thing.
I would have done the same exact thing,
right?
100 times over again.
And if the prosecutor's office, who's corrupted, it's a political entity, they fucking pick and choose which cases to prosecute and not prosecute based on political pressures and political benefits, right? This isn't justice. This is corruption.
Yep.
If a corrupt prosecutor's office says, we're going to press charges, then the fucking police, because prosecutors don't go put handcuffs on people.
Right.
They send the warrants out. And then the police go do that. And if you're a fucking police officer, if you're the police officer that puts handcuffs on him,
yeah,
I think that guy has a right to kill you.
I agree. Because if I was in his position, if I knew that I was coming to get handcuffed, and I'm willing to say this to the world, I will fight you to the death before you put me in those fucking handcuffs for making me sit in a cell for something that I didn't. That's unjust.
That was just. Actually.
Or that was just. Sorry.
Because, and here's the thing, man. Like, let's say I can't even fucking think of a scenario, but let's say I found myself in a scenario where I fucked up. Mm-hmm. Let's say I got drunk and went driving one night.
Yeah.
And I got pulled over, and the cop's like, "Hey, bro, you're under arrest." I'm not fighting that cop to the death.
No.
Because I'm in the wrong.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, 100%.
I can be like, fuck, man. And you know what? Like, the legal limit is like a fucking beer.
Yep.
So almost every fucking man you know has drove over the limit, right? And if that was you one night and you got pulled over, and that's a law that I look at and that I can say, I understand why we don't want drunk people on the road.
Of course.
It makes sense.
Yes.
It's morally and ethically correct.
Yes.
And you got nabbed. So guess what? You're going to go spend the night in the cell.
Yep.
But if some dude came into the gym and started thrashing my facility,
yeah,
and I beat that dude's ass,
yeah,
and then they come to put me in cuffs, it ain't fucking going down like that.
No, it's not.
And you need to make a choice. Is it more important to follow a corrupt prosecutor's warrant or stand with your fucking citizens and protect their constitutional rights?
Yeah. So the difference of obeying or finding morale.
Yes, dude.
Okay. Just because it's this little saying we say to the kids. If someone jumped off or told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. It's like, no, because that's retarded, right? We're not going to do that. So for the police officers that are doing that, unless they're total evil, corrupt pieces of shit too, their morale should be trumping whatever they're being told to obey.
And the thing is, I was in the profession for 10 years, so I have a good, sample size to know if cops are corrupt pieces of shit or most of them are pretty good people.
Yeah.
Most of them are pretty good people.
Which I found out from being here.
Yeah, you know lots of cops here.
Lots of them.
Cool men.
Yeah, they're all rad.
So understanding that we know that most cops are cool people, that means that they're not evil pieces of shit.
No.
So the ones that are just doing it are doing it because they want to follow an order.
Yeah, paycheck, just like the
because it
rest
keeps
of
everything
stuff.
fucking simple.
Yeah.
And nothing changes if nothing changes.
No.
So if people just continue to follow the orders of corrupt men when you know they're corrupt, and this may sound like a little thing, it's not a little thing. It's fucking huge. And I'm going to go into the next story, and it's going to fucking paint the picture of why it's huge. Because right now, that's one man in a 7-Eleven in a corner store in California, right?
Yep.
That's not really going to affect you much. But the police officers nationwide should look at that and come to the conclusion that we're talking about and draw that hard line in the sand and say, you know what? If I was ever asked to do that, I'd tell the prosecutor, fuck no.
Yep. Yeah.
Period. Right? And the reason it's important is, man, the fucking gun legislation that's getting pushed. Did you see what Democrats are trying to push today?
Mm-mm.
A 1,000% excise tax.
Oh, I did.
On semi-automatic weapons. Oh, assault weapons.
Yeah.
That's the term they're using, right?
Yeah.
But
whatever they deem assault weapons.
And so when you read their definition, it said any semi-automatic weapon or weapon with other specific features. So guns, basically.
Okay, so my revolver.
Fuck, dude. Oh, I do think it said magazine fed.
Okay.
I think it said magazine.
Okay.
Magazine fed semi-automatic weapon. Bro,
Still.
my Ruger 1022
Yeah.
that every little boy in America should have is magazine fed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, the fuck are you talking about? Every nice handgun since fucking 1990 is a fucking magazine fed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not an assault weapon.
Yeah. So what did...
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as an assault weapon. It's just a made up fucking term to instill fear and make people angry, right?
Yeah, because the thing is like, bro, we are assault weapons.
That's right, bro.
I walk around more of a weapon than most people have when they have their gun on their fucking hip.
Well, bro, you listened to the episode with Lappin. He touched on that. He's like, the state of Louisiana will issue me a fucking concealed weapons permit to carry a gun around to use it in a scenario that authorizes me to shoot another human being, but they won't allow you to punch someone in the face.
Nope.
Think about that. That's kind of nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about, dude?
Yeah. Why does it have to go from 0 to 100? You know,
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't need to be 100. Like you said, you know, if someone's being a dickhead at the bar and is just being a fucker, I'm not gonna kill the guy. Just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, fuck, man.
But if someone's trying to harm, you know, Vanessa or the tribe or anyone that should not be harmed, then yeah, I would do that.
So
So
a 1,000% excise tax. Think about that. That means a gun that's $1,000
is now 10.
is now $10,000.
Yeah,
right.
Your $500 9mm that you bought
It's now 5,000.
$5,000.
And bro, I have my nice guns are fucking $4,000 rifles.
Okay, well,
so
they're
do the fucking
they're
math,
40 now.
You know, and here's the thing that I don't understand why people aren't outraged against. This is what I don't understand. All you fucking people, like, it's weird how like a lot of times the minority communities want to act like the Democrats are for them, bro. Hey,
No, they hate you.
Hey, you can still own your Geisley, but you just got to pay $40,000 for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No big deal. Middle and lower class Americans should be outraged by that.
Of course.
Because you're not saying you can't have it. You're not saying that it's such a harmful piece of equipment that we're going to ban it in society. We can't have this in society. So we're going to ban it, right? No, they're not saying that. They're saying this is for rich people.
Yeah.
But all you fucking people, all you fucking like minions down at the bottom, because we're the ones they're afraid of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course they are.
So of course they're trying to come up with a way
To make us less
capable of rising up
Yeah.
and lynching all these motherfuckers,
Yes.
dude.
Yeah.
Like, you can only have a nice gun if you're filthy fucking rich.
Mm-hmm.
Because, bro, like, we're both middle class people, and like $40,000 is what I would expect to spend on a car.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not,
But you can barely even get that anymore.
which I'm not going to fucking, there isn't a scenario, at least right now,
Mm-hmm.
where I can justify spending $40,000 on a rifle. It just, like, my life can't support those numbers, and they fucking know it, and that's what they're doing it for. Meanwhile, every single one of them is protected by that fucking rifle.
Yep.
And everybody knows what is happening here. They're purposefully trying to disarm a certain population, a certain segment of America. Why would they do that? Oh, because of mass shootings, Greg. They're sick of seeing people die at the mall. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
okay.
Okay.
And Andy Frisella and DJ were talking about this the other day, and they said, yeah, all you people that say like, oh, dude, we love Ukraine. We love Ukrainian people. We love the country. We want to support the country. So what have we been doing to support the country?
Putting a fucking
Sending them
sticker on-
guns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. Because if countries you love, you send guns to, why would you send Ukraine guns? For their own likelihood of defending peace and freedom. Okay.
Okay.
So where are we going with this?
Yeah.
You know? So guns are good for securing peace and freedom on the other side of the world.
Just not here.
But here at home,
Yeah. No.
they're not good for that.
We're above that, right?
They know damn well what they're doing. And what they're going to do is they're going to try and go down all these different loopholes to try and take the guns out of the hands of the people that they don't want them, while simultaneously being able to say, we're not technically violating any constitutional right because the items are still allowed. You just can't afford them anymore, motherfucker.
Yeah.
They're outpricing you, you know? Fuck, man. So again, when they start pushing all this bullshit, because what happens when politicians make unreasonable laws? The black market comes alive.
Yeah.
Look at prohibition. Like, people are going to do what people do.
That is the thing that I don't understand why they don't get it. Because you're never going to be able to take away weapons.
Yeah, you ain't taking away weapons.
Like, give me some steel, any steel, and I'll make you an edged weapon with some fire and a rock.
Yeah,
it
bro.
might not be beautiful, but I'll give you something good enough to
chop
fucking
somebody
chop
up.
motherfuckers up. So it's like the whole weapon thing is kind of just ludicrous in general. It's like, how could you not see that violence is a real thing on planet Earth regardless? Doesn't matter whether you make laws, natural nature, doesn't matter anything like that. So why wouldn't the average person realize when you're starting to be taking your abilities to use as weapons away as a problem? If we all of a sudden went out to the fucking African savannah and started capturing lions and declawing them, detoothing them,
Yeah. Everyone would be like, what the fuck, dude?
dude, it would not take very long before if they even fucking seen us from a mile away, they would either run or attack.
Yeah.
But not us. We're like, hey, come do mine too.
Yeah, declaw me,
Yeah.
defang me, take away my
So I can
fucking
be limp
balls.
dick and chest feed.
Yeah. Yeah, but bro, they're going to push gun legislation because they know that I don't see you hunting deer with Kevlar vests. You know, you heard fucking our idiot say that, right?
Yeah, they fucking mock us, man.
Like, bro, we all know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows we're not talking about hunting. We're talking about defending ourselves against tyranny. The Founding Fathers didn't mention fucking acquiring meat in the Second Amendment.
No.
It's about you motherfuckers.
Yep.
And they know it.
Yeah, they
right?
know. Yeah.
So again, to go back to tying this all together with the police, whenever that day comes and they make it, I mean, I don't think they're ever going to be like, go door to door and seize weapons.
Yep.
Because I think most cops would be
It's
like,
so dangerous, man.
I think most cops would be like, I'm going to call in sick today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the fucking badass ones would be like, fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
Right? And then you had everything in between. And you probably have some that'd be like, oh, okay. And then they'd get killed.
Yeah.
As they should. Right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't think that's what they're going to do because that's not a very feasible way of attacking this. So what are they going to do? They push legislation that makes it more and more difficult to acquire guns, forcing people into a black market style. I know guys right now, as you know more than me, that could fucking build an AR-15.
Yeah.
Literally milling the parts and shit.
Yeah.
Right?
From a block of steel.
Exactly. That people can do that.
Yep.
And if you outprice people from being able to own the weapons that they want, then that market's going to come alive. That is where they'll start hemming people up.
Yep.
You know? It's like, oh, you're weapons trafficking. Oh, Tyler fucking put so-and-so in touch with so-and-so, and he punched these holes in this lower receiver, and like, there's his warrant.
Yep.
There's that guy's warrant, and start plucking off the people that are standing against it. Same thing.
Yeah.
The cops need to be like, oh, there's no morality in this. You took people's rights away. You took people's ability to have a firearm. You took that away from them. You deprived them of that. And so they came up with another method.
Yeah. And
Where's the criminal act in that?
And how does it look for, you know, sometimes and I don't know if this is a thing, but how does that work for the police officers as well? Don't you guys want to use your guns?
Well, they're cops. They get to keep their guns.
Okay, they get to keep theirs.
Dude, it's fucking nuts, man. Like, the fucking... I know, bro. When I was in California, I was a deputy U.S. Marshal, and I could go into gun stores, and if I had agency letterhead that said, this gun is for U.S. government business, they would sell it to me on the spot, and I could walk out of the store with it, right?
Yeah.
I went in one day, and I'm still the same deputy U.S. Marshal with credentials to buy my daughter, Siler, when she turned 5, a one-shot cricket rifle, which is a one-shot 22 rifle.
Yep.
And it was fluorescent pink. And they said, since this isn't for government use, you have to go through the process that civilians have to go through. Okay. Fingerprinted. Bro, fingerprinted.
Okay.
For a fucking 22. This big extensive background check, and then I think it was like a 2-week wait period. So if you're working on our behalf, you can have this fucking gun right now. But if you want to teach your fucking child the basic fundamentals of marksmanship out in the desert, you're going to have to sit on this for 2 weeks. Well, we make sure you're who you say you are. Fuck you, dude.
Fuck you.
I actually think, if I had my way, I don't think they should ban weapons for anyone.
No, neither do I.
Felons.
I don't.
Rapists.
Like I said,
murderers. Give them fucking to them.
It doesn't make a difference.
I don't care. Give them to them. I don't give a fuck, dude.
And I think that we as maybe this is just super fucking primitive of me or something, but I feel that, not that I don't think that a sheriff or a police officer is good, because I do,
but I don't need them.
But
is that where you're going?
I'm thinking more of the sense of, why is not all of the men in the community already their own police officer in the community?
Yeah.
I would way rather pay these police officers to go build shit and do things if we all just agreed.
If we all policed crime ourselves.
Exactly.
Hey, you do bullshit around the men in this community, you get fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what one.
You do bullshit that's egregious, like hurting our children, like now you get lynched.
Yep.
You know?
Yes. I think that
he keeps talking about lynching people. That's racist. No, I'll hang any motherfucker.
No, I don't care.
I don't care what color they are.
No.
I care what the fuck they did.
Yeah. You know, your last podcast with Lappin, he talked a lot about off with their head with the broadsword.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, well, I guess I'll bring this story up. Fuck it, it's been long enough. I have a sword.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, exactly. I have a sword, and essentially, there was this meth head who was living by my house. He was causing problems. He was doing all this different shit. We had called the police. They wouldn't do anything. We had called we lived in a little Navy complex, and we all had townhomes. So there was like a little house manager's person, you know, in the middle. We go and tell them they can't do anything. No one can do anything, but it's getting to the point where Vanessa's calling and texting me while I'm at work, saying that she's scared and feels uncomfortable. This guy is like constantly staring at her and making her feel weird vibes and all this different shit. What are you supposed to do? Do I tell her, sorry, honey,
you're only my fucking life partner, my queen, and you're 100 pounds and you couldn't fight your way out of a wet paper bag? Go figure it out.
Go figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I've already called all the numbers. There's nothing they can do. He hasn't really done a crime yet.
Yeah.
So they can't really do anything. Well, I was like, fuck it, I'll do something. So I went and grabbed my sword. And I was going to I was going to kill him if I had to. That's why I grabbed the sword. And I didn't want to use the gun because we were in townhomes. I didn't want a bullet going into another person's house. So I went over there and I fucking got him cornered in the front of his little house. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. And I put the sword to his throat and I said, get the fuck out of here. This is my town, or not my town, my street. My kids are here. No one wants you around. I've called everyone. No one's going to do anything. And now you're going to deal with me. And he's like, bro, get that sword. I was like, dude, I had it right up on his fucking neck. He was stuck in the corner. Vanessa was like, back home.
Vanessa,
oh my God.
Oh, Vanessa saw it?
Yeah. I didn't even know that. I had no idea.
I want to put a sword to someone's throat.
Oh, I have.
Fuck, dude.
I have one time in my life. And he started to try and like push it away. And I laughed at him. I go, this ain't a fucking stick. Push it.
Yeah, push
Come on,
it.
grab it. Grab it. It'll fucking, I'll rip this thing out. Your arm will be lopped off on the ground, bro. This is a real Viking sword, man. This thing's made for battle. You get the fuck out of here. Well, then this meth head's like, his child shows up with his ex-mama or baby mama in the middle of this. She's like, jumps out of this fucking car with this newborn and is like, what the fuck are you doing? I said, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. She's like, put the sword down. I said, no, take him and get the fuck out of here. No more. I'm telling you, I'll put you right here in the dirt. I don't give a fuck. They all scattered. He went in the house, didn't leave for like a week. He sat there in the blinds in the upstairs like this for a week, and then he disappeared. But from that day on, there was never any fucking issues. That guy was so scared. He didn't leave the house. And so my point is like in the case of us policing our own communities, I called all these motherfuckers and they wouldn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one would do anything.
Or go ahead.
So I was just going to say, okay, well, does it need to be that extreme? Do I expect people to be like me? No, I don't. I don't expect that. And you shouldn't have to fucking do that. However, if my neighbors, I live with 50 other men on my street, why can't we all come out and say, hey, bro, you got to get the fuck out of here?
Dude, I think we should be able to expect our communities to have fucking strong, capable men.
Is that too much to ask for?
Well, you've said it a million times. Society needs its berry pickers.
It does.
Right?
It
Not
does.
every man is going to fill the warrior billet.
No, but
in no time in history did every man fill the warrior billet. But you let the warriors do the warrior shit.
That's it.
You know?
So that my berry pickers aren't getting mugged and all my fucking berries. And he's like, bro, every time I go out there, they steal all my shit. And I'm like, sorry, I can't do anything. The sheriff said that it's against the law. But we got to go out tomorrow and try again.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, no.
Dude, so I don't know. I don't even know if I had the podcast when those squatters moved on to a piece of property that my family owns.
I don't think you did. I think that was before.
I may have told the story, I may not have. But
you were still a police officer, weren't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is way before the podcast.
Yeah.
I was still a police officer.
Yeah.
And so, and maybe I have told it before, but it's an interesting story because my mom owned this small house that was a rental house. And then after my dad passed, she put all of the family's belongings in a living trust. So me, her, and my sister co-own this stuff now. That was my mom. It still is, right? But the way you do, people are doing that now because the government wants to tax you when your parents pass to take on their pieces of property and shit. It's just fucking more criminal bullshit.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Anyways, my mom's driving by one day and there's people living there. And she had just, a tenant had just left and she was in the process of getting ready to rent it again, you know?
Yep.
And she's like, what the fuck, dude? And stops by and looks in and like, she didn't go and like knock on the door, but she's like, oh, there's like cars and people inside. I can tell. Immediately calls the police. Police come out and she goes, those people broke into my house. Police officer walks up to the door and says, hey, this lady says you broke into this house. They said, no. We just rented this house from someone. Here's our lease. And they'd went to Staples or whatever and got like a generic lease and just filled it out themselves and fucking penciled some signature. And my mom said, that's not my signature. I want them out of here. And the cop goes, well, they do have a lease. And at this point, it's no longer criminal. It's civil. Because when a tenant has a lease, they have to be evicted through the courts. They can't be thrown out by a law enforcement officer.
Oh my God, dude.
Bro, like, are you fucking joking me?
Okay, then I guess we'll fucking solve it a different problem.
Well, then she calls her son, who is a police officer at the time, right?
Not solve it a different problem, solve it a different way.
And I said, okay. So I went, and I put my full fucking kit on. My police kit.
Yep.
My gun belt, and my fucking body armor, and my fucking badge. And I stopped by the sheriff's office on the way there. And I said, hey, my mom called you guys to try and evict some guys that broke into her house. Or not evict, wrong verbiage.
Yep.
Remove. And she was told no. And so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Now I'm throwing them out. So I'm going up there right now. And that's how it's going down. And one of the cops there knew who I was and was like, Greg, dude, let me put you in touch with fucking so-and-so. The on-duty sergeant calls me. I end up knowing him too. And he's like, Greg, dude, it doesn't have to go down like this. We got your back. Let's go. He goes, we'll roll out there with you and we'll throw them all out. And they did.
Okay.
And then I remember thinking about that afterwards. I was like, man, my mom got the runaround because she wasn't in the club.
That's what I was going to say, but I don't know these people, the people that I call.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And like, am I grateful that it worked out like that? Yeah. And we just walked in the house and fucking rounded them all up and handcuffed them and put them in the living room and ran them and arrested like 4 of them. And, my department never even knew about that. You can't do that. That's against department policy, right? Yeah. But it's also my house, my property. Why can't I wear my own kit on my own property? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then we throw them all out, and my mom wants to list it, right? And she's like, you know what? I no longer want to deal with a rental because she ended up moving to Arizona. It's an out-of-state rental. Me and Jenny didn't want to fucking take that. So she's just like, a family consensus. Let's just sell this piece of property. We're getting ready to sell. We go back up there. There's this methed out motorhome that's like 32 feet long, parked right in front of the house on our property. Oh, fuck, dude. You know?
Yeah.
I go out there and I'm like, I just picked up this giant cinder block and just went wham and just smashed one of the side windows. I'm like, get the fuck out here right now. No one comes out, kick the fucking door in. I said, get the fuck out here. And a guy and a girl come out. I said, get this thing off my fucking property now. Bro, listen, man, listen, I want to, but it just broke down, and my buddy's a mechanic. He said he could be here by 9. And
no.
I said, bro, listen to me very fucking carefully. I'm actually going to be reasonable for once in my life because I don't want to fucking kill you right now. I'm going to get my car and I'm going to drive away. And I'm going to be here at 8 in the morning. And if this thing's still here at 8 in the morning, you're fucked. I promise you, you're fucked. And I drove off.
Okay.
And I don't know if that was the right thing. I should have beat the fuck out of that dude, right?
I don't know, dude. We go through these things of like, what were we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And honestly, whatever you did was probably the right thing to do.
Well, check this out. I'm back there at 8 in the morning. And I call my same buddies that are sheriffs. I said, meet me out there at 8 in the morning because I'm going in to this. I'm going to throw them out. I'm going to fucking tow that thing off my fucking property. And we get there and my buddy goes, oh, fuck, we had an incident here last night. I said, what? Yeah, we had a call for service to this property last night. That guy ended up beating up his chick, the girl that was in the motorhome.
Okay.
And he got arrested and he's in jail now.
Okay.
And now I got this woman who's like, no, don't take my house. Where I live. I said, I was fucking here last night and I told both you motherfuckers to get the fuck off my property and you didn't do it. No, listen. I said, I don't have time for your sob story. Called the tow company. Guess what they charged me to tow that thing?
How much?
What would you think a tow would cost to that?
Fuck, dude. It's expensive. $500?
$3,000.
$3,000.
Because they said, we can't resell these. How impound works is they charge you a $500 fee to tow a car because it's illegally parked. And then the owner says, fuck, I parked in front of a fire hydrant. I need my car back. You pay them $500.
Yeah.
With the methed out motorhomes, they can't be resold for obvious reasons. They're full of feces and piss and needles. They're a biohazard.
Yep.
They're fucking compromised.
Yep.
Not only do they not have the ability to resell them, they can't resell them. They have to destroy them.
Which costs the
$3,000.
Okay. So you have to pay for that.
And I ate that. I had to eat that.
Fuck, dude.
Because there was like 4 other cars on the lot. Dude, they're like fucking ants. They're all back, right? I ended up having to put cinder blocks across the driveway so they wouldn't come back. And all the cars on the lot, bro, my Chevy Silverado, with that big fucking cattle guard, I literally just fucking rammed them on the side and pushed them down the driveway into the ditch out in the road.
All the cars?
All the cars.
Yep.
And I won't say that the sheriff's office advised me to do that, but what they said is, We're going to go take a coffee break. Just so you know, any cars that are on public property, we have to pay to tow. Any cars that are on your property,
You have to pay.
you have to pay to tow. But just know, if that fucking 35-foot motorhome ends up in the ditch, it's going to be a big problem with my boss. I said, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. You're trying to help me out as much as you can.
Right.
So I pushed all the cars into the ditch after smashing all their windows out.
Yep.
And what the weird thing is some of them were nice cars.
Oh, really?
Like one of them was like a Beamer.
Fuck.
I'm like, he must be the kingpin.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Fuck, sucks to be you, man.
Well, dude, so this is real shit, bro.
Yeah.
I push his car. Then he fucking shows up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing to my car? I should have knocked him out on the spot. Instead, I threw him on the concrete. I said, one more word out of you, I'm going to fucking kill you. And showed him my gun.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah. Yep.
You know?
Yeah. No, this is beyond fighting.
And you could tell he was used to being a kingpin in the fucking, you could tell he was like my size.
Yeah.
You know? But again, like we said earlier, and when confrontation is happening, I don't have fear.
Yeah. No.
Because the worst thing you can do is kill me.
Yep.
And if you win,
Okay.
good on you, motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't have to deal with it.
You know, yeah, you won.
Yep.
So he picked up the vibe immediately and left.
Yeah.
And then the other thing got towed, and I got a bill of $3,000. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, I was even reasonable to that chick. I said, you have 5 minutes to get what you want out of that, and then you're off my fucking property.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, yeah, or you get arrested. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, yeah, if I wasn't intertwined in the profession and had the connections and knew some of the way that business is handled, people can just take your house from you.
Not only that, they didn't even fully help you. They just kind of guided you a little bit. You still are the one using your truck to push this off. You're still having to pay $3,000 to get junkies out of your fucking home.
Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
You're policing your own place, but it just doesn't make sense.
And the thing is, like, that same scenario could take place with someone that isn't connected with the inside of the sheriff's office, that, oh, you rammed their cars and pushed them in the ditch. Well, you know what? You're under arrest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, man. And it's like, and it's all because of this epidemic of fucking addiction that we're nurturing. And the reason that we're nurturing it is because it's throwing society into chaos. Mm-hmm. And for those of you, I mean, people consume my podcast from all over the world. And I'm sure that there's some of you guys out there that are listeners that maybe live in the Midwest and can't even really comprehend. Or you know what? I'm sure their cities are starting to feel it too.
They have to.
But I promise you, you talk to people from Seattle like us, or Portland, or San Francisco, or Los Angeles, or Houston, or New Orleans. Bro, it's the zombie apocalypse in our cities.
Yeah. It's gnarly. I don't even go down there anymore.
And we don't have the ability to really, outside of stepping into the wildness realm, which you and I are willing to do.
Right, but if we just do it ourselves.
But a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
No.
And it's like, they have to know that, you know? Andy Frisella, intentional destruction of America, dude.
No, of course they know that.
You can't look at that situation. And you were a fucking addict, dude.
Yep.
Like, there are ways to address this problem.
Yeah.
And it's not by letting them fucking ravage our cities.
No.
And the fucked up thing is, you want to talk about compassion? If there was a way for maybe not all of them, but a percentage of them to have a legitimate out, there are people that would take them up on it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a dark existence.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So that proves right there, they don't want to solve the problem.
No.
Because you could legislate like mandatory treatment centers.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, hey, if you're caught in the commission of a felony resulting from an addiction, then the sentence is mandatory rehab.
Yeah. And the thing is that,
and it's compassionate.
It is compassionate.
It's a compassionate Viking, dude, like your fucking podcast, because on one hand, I want to help people, but if you push me to a point where I can't, it's off with your fucking head.
Yeah, but it's out of love. The only reason we would ever off with your head was because you're not spreading good vibes and positivity into the world. You're being a fucking vulture and you're sucking you're bringing in bad energy. Nobody wants that shit anymore. So yeah, we're going to off with your head because humans aren't designed to live in this type of life. We're being altered.
Yeah.
We're everything's off. Chest feeding, fucking limp dick, Miss Universe being a fucking man. Like, dude, it's, are you kidding me?
So, did you see this morning, Barack Obama's brother tweeted that his brother is, in fact, certainly gay?
I know for a fact he is, because of the guy who testified in court that died, that said that Barack Obama and him were sucking each other's fallacies while doing blow together.
Was that the paddleboarder?
I don't know. No. This was from a long time ago. Yeah.
So I read this article that his brother said that, like, he is certainly a gay man, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I started going down these rabbit holes, which I don't like to do. I hate these rabbit holes, but again, stay informed, but not consumed. This morning I was on the verge of being consumed, right?
It happens.
But people were saying things that I wanted to look at, and they're like, oh, this is, just like you said, this isn't new. They're like, Barack Obama actually pushed more LGBTQ agendas than all the preceding presidents combined. And come to find out that Barack Obama, let's see if I got the fucking story up here, dude. I think I took a screenshot of it. But he went, it said Obama, and his brother was responding to Obama about and his brother lives in Kenya, right? Mm-hmm. So he probably won't mysteriously have a paddleboarding accident like Barack Obama's chef did last week. You heard that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, dead. He fell off his paddleboard.
Hey, no big deal, right?
Have you ever heard of someone dying on their paddleboard? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm not saying it has to be a conspiracy, but it's interesting how people around this elite class of people just always end up fucking dying in really mysterious ways.
Yes.
But his brother posted this because he said his brother went on a campaign called the Unite Against Book Bans in an effort by the American Library Association to confront increasing demands to censor content that critics deem inappropriate for children. So that's what Barack Obama, that's a campaign he's on right now. Unite Against Books ban, right? Dude, you can't ban, like, it's funny how they want to pull on your emotions, right? Like, yep. We can't ban books. History, like, books are important, right? That's some fucking Nazi shit.
Yeah.
Well, the books, you dig a little further, the books that people are calling to be banned are in public libraries, in kids sections, giving instructions on homosexual intercourse.
Yeah, it's the brave new world, man.
So it's like, hey, and bro, I talked about it on the show all the time, and for a long time, I get to change my opinion, right? Because for a long time I said, I don't care who you fuck, I don't care how you identify, I don't care if you think you're a man or a woman. As long as you live your life, I'll live my life, right?
Yeah.
And the truth is, if you're sucking some dude's dick in your bedroom, the truth is I don't care. Yeah. But what we're not seeing from these communities of people is reasonableness.
Of course not.
So fuck your communities. Fuck your LGBTQ community. Fuck every one of you, dude.
Yeah, because, if you support that shit, then yeah.
Because what you're not doing is, there is the Gays Against Groomers, yep. And there is organizations that are like, hey, I am a man, I happen to love men, but I'm not down with this. Yep. That movement, if you're not on that movement, and
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you.
Because what the fuck do we need Logan and Tinsley in their school library seeing diagrams of two men fucking? No. Why do they need to see that? And I mean, both of our kids were pulled from public school for reasons similar to that. Yep. But the truth is, a lot of Americans, and this is kind of an excuse, because if there's a will, there's a way. And this is a public service announcement. If your kid's in public school, get them out of it.
Oh, 100%.
And people will say it's too expensive, or both parents work.
What's the price of your fucking child's soul, man?
You know what I'm saying? Both parents work, or this or that. And there are families that are struggling. Yep. And so the truth is, there are people out there that you and I would consider good men. Yep. That haven't figured out a way to get their kids out of public school yet. Yep. That doesn't mean they deserve to have their 7-year-old daughters learning about how men fuck each other's assholes.
No, it does not.
Period.
No.
Because we're fucking funding those libraries.
Oh, I know, man.
and so, like, dude, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I read the Sikh story, looking at getting arrested for defending himself. This story, fucking a president. Bro, that's the most powerful position, at least it used to be. Yep. You know what I mean? You were one of the most powerful figures in the universe.
Yep.
And you're deciding that you want our kids watching gay sex.
Okay, check this out. I found the video.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to give you my phone, and then you can hold it up. I'm going to turn the, you know how it is. It's an iPhone. It's this one on Instagram. It's Obama throwing a pitch, like in baseball, MLB.
The first gay pitch.
No. Keep watching.
So now he's going around. He, of course,
Well, he's the first gay president.
yeah.
Did you see the cover?
Yes, the cover of Newsweek says that Obama is the first gay president. Someone said they've made him a gay angel.
Well, they
put
put
a halo, a multicolored halo over his head.
My name is Larry Sinclair. In regards to the Obama incident, on November 6, 1999, I asked the limo driver if he knew anyone who would like to socialize and show me Chicago. He used his cell phone to make a call. That call was made to then Illinois State Senator Barack Obama to set up an introduction between myself and Senator Obama. Senator Obama asked me if I was referring to Coke, and I stated I was.
Now keep going. Watch one more thing.
Senator Obama arranged the cocaine purchase. Senator Obama and I then departed the bar in my limousine and proceeded to an unknown location. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. Shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine. The following day, November 7th, 1999. Senator Obama appeared at my hotel room where we again ingested cocaine and I again performed fellatio on Senator Obama.
Then it said Larry Sinclair was found dead in his car from a car wreck following that.
Yep. So, crack cocaine has not been around just for a little bit of time in our White House. Mm-hmm. And Big Mike and fucking Barack Obama are not what you think they are. And
Well, like people say, show me the picture of Michelle pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are conspiracy theorists. It's like, well, this is what I can tell you. My siblings aren't publicly declaring that I'm a homosexual.
No.
I don't have people that are testifying under oath that they performed fellatio on me.
Yep.
Or anybody else.
Yep.
And where there's smoke, there's fucking fire, dude.
Yeah, and you want to know something really fucked up? Is what's that man, our health, it's the man, Adam Levine or Rachel Levine? Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel Levine.
Whatever, that fucking dude.
The dude.
Okay? So
who is, bro, he is given the rank of admiral. Like that's a military rank that's earned over a long career, right?
Yeah.
You just put someone in a position and like, it'd be like me saying like, dude, you're now General Stanaway. How's that sound? Sounds powerful, doesn't it?
Okay.
General.
Like what?
General Stanaway. Let's just give you that title and then let's.
And then people will just fucking.
People will think that you command authority. And here's the thing, bro. If you're a fucking, if he's a dude that thinks he's a chick, which just absolutely is,
it's mental illness.
I was going to say it's indicative of a mental illness.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
But if you were, and your job was to be the health minister or czar, or whatever fucking term they're using now, and the dude looked like George St. Pierre. Yeah, right? Hey, he puts on a bikini and he's fucking more jacked than either one of us. And his Instagram's filled with him fucking crushing weights and doing CrossFit and talking about eating and consuming super nutritious foods. Like there is a place where like, all right, this dude's a fucking whack job, but he's putting out really fucking powerful information to people.
As long as it's good.
Like I don't think that I would have a problem with it. I'd think the dude's a whack job.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, we saw a man in a dress. It was called a cross-dresser, and it was like, I knew a guy in high school whose dad would sneak out to the bars with a wig and a dress on.
Really?
And when everybody found out about that, it was like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, there are people that have done that throughout history, and it's always been looked at as fucking strange.
And they kept it secret because they know it's not normal.
Yeah, dude.
That's why.
Yeah.
It's because they know it's not normal. And so you have this person, Rachel Levine or whatever her name is, and I take a picture on my phone, like a screenshot, and I zoom into just her face. I might have said this on a podcast or this one. I might have said this before, but I took the picture of just the face. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then I went into Tinsley's room, and she was laying in her bed, getting ready to go to sleep. And I said, "Hey, sis, can I ask you a question?" She says, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think this girl's pretty?" And I show her the picture.
Not preemptive. Is this a man or a woman?
No,
Yeah.
no. I said, I even coaxed her in. I said, "Do you think this lady's pretty or girl's pretty?" And it's just a portrait of her or him. And she goes, "That's not a girl, Dad." And I go, "Yeah, it is. Her name's Rachel, whatever. She's our new health ministry or whatever the fuck she is." And Tinsley just starts laughing. She goes, "It's a boy." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And she goes, she just looks at me like
Quit being stupid, Dad.
Yeah.
Quit being silly.
I'm fucking
You're-
with her.
Hey, you're being silly.
Yes.
Cut it out.
Yeah. No, nothing. No, whatever. So the thing is that our innate intuition, even when a child fucking knows whether it's a boy or a girl, and when they get confused, it makes them feel weird, as do I. My kid at the fucking movie theater was like, "Is that a boy or a girl?" And I'm like, "I don't know. We got to ask it."
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. It could be, I don't know. But because of that, like I've said before, I have tattoos on my neck. People look at me like I'm a felon, a criminal. Okay. You have to get to know me, and I accept that. So if that person is putting out positive energy and positive vibe into the world, they just have to accept that they are fucking weird, and that society's going to look at them like a weirdo.
And that's a choice.
That is a choice. But
And if your choice brings you some discomfort,
yeah.
welcome to humanity, dude.
But the thing is, the weirdo at the fucking movie theater or Target isn't making these books go into world corporation stores in public libraries to be cast out upon our little kids in our society. They are being pulled into it with them. And so then they're being used as fucking pawns
That's right.
without them knowing
They're
it.
the useful idiot.
They're the useful fucking idiots, man.
And people think it's virtuous now.
Of course they do. It's the right thing to do. It's for the greater good of humanity. No, you fucking idiot. You're following Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
They hate you. You're Goyim, bro.
And they're making you weak on purpose.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. The reason why they know that there's only a couple of us that are willing to fucking police our communities and and everyone else is going to cuck in, that's because it's been designed to get rid of strong, tough, savage, protecting, loving men. And I just went to a IS ceremony. And my first night, it was to release things that are no longer serving me.
I'm listening. I'm just going to grab another drink.
Yeah. And so my intention was to just like, whatever is no longer serving me, fucking get rid of it. And I felt the most like wild I've ever felt in my entire life. I just was like, honestly, it kind of reminded me of what you said when it happened to you. Like when you did your ceremony of feeling wild, dude.
My Aya ceremony, the overwhelming, resounding message that was shooting into my body, like I could feel the frequencies, was stay savage because the biggest fight of your life is yet to come.
Okay. Mine was about the same. I had like everything stripped down to the only thing that served me. And it was fuck, fight, feast, and love. And I have to keep remembering myself to love. There's something in me that love has been beaten out of me when I was little or a past life or something to where I'm having to remember to learn how to do this, which is a big thing of, we'll get into whatever the brown belt path of me understanding this, me being able to blossom, bring love, bring the right energy. It just was fucking suppressed. And so when I was at my ceremony, I had realized that the most primal part of me that makes me feel the most alive and the most wild is those four things: fuck, fight, feast, and love. And what is love, right? Well, it's those three things. To fuck without love is porno.
Yeah.
Okay. To feast without love is gluttony. To fight without love is why we train. I love to fight on a volunteer basis.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight out of animosity and hostility. The fight that we're about to endure sometime in our life, I would prefer to not have to do that.
Yeah.
But we're going to fight from a place of all of these things is coming from a place of love, which is way more powerful than hate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have a sea of fucking darkness and it's all dark, or a room that's pitch black, you can light a little match and it pretty much lights up the whole thing. It's not super bright, but the darkness, you didn't have to kill it. You didn't have to tell it to go away. It literally cannot exist. And so I think what's happening is there's not as many people like us who have this in us anymore. It's been purposely designed, you know, through the food, through the endocrine disruptors, from the clothes we wear. I mean, fuck, we don't have t-shirts on. And I know the reasons aren't what I'm going to say, but a good reason not to wear clothes is because of all the shit that you're absorbing from it. Unless you have wool or alpaca or linen, which I don't see anyone wearing, it's not good for us. So I guess to me, as we talk about this policing, we talk about what are we going to do? What are we going to do about all this bullshit? I see one more. I saved something while you were taking a piss earlier about just one more thing popping up that we're going to have to deal with. And this doesn't even really affect me because I'm not a Christian, but I do know many, many Christians, and I do love many Christians. And this is from the United Nations chief. Public announcement. Christians who don't accept MAPS, which stands for minor attracted persons, if you didn't know, will be excluded from society. Now, that was posted about 20 hours ago.
Bro, which is right on par with the last talking point that I brought up, that I also took a screenshot of. And again, we're going to get into the good, but we got to fucking...
Hold on, let me read the rest of this first. Okay, so down at the bottom, it says, the United Nations has warned Christians that if they do not fully embrace the legalization of pedophilia, they will be excluded from participating in society. In a disturbing new declaration, UN expert Victor, whatever his fucking name is, says religious freedoms can only be tolerated if religious people truly embrace the globalist agenda, including radical LGBTQ+ ideology. The United States is the biggest funder of the United Nations at just over $12 billion a year. So there you go.
There was a flyer going around Twitter.
Okay.
I don't even have Twitter.
Neither do I.
But people will screenshot it and then put it on Instagram.
Yep.
And so I grabbed a screenshot of it. And you see that? It's the Love is Love flyer.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yep.
And there's a man and a woman and a woman. They put a man and a woman in there too, right? Then they put at the bottom, what are the three at the bottom? There's the no race. Okay, so different colored people together. No religion. Person, a Christian, and a fuck, dude, I can't.
Jew.
Yeah, a Christian and a Jew.
Yep.
And then in the middle it says a no age, and then the picture has a 10-year-old girl
with a 36-year-old man. Yep. I'll tell you right now, Greg.
Like
I have a 9-year-old.
Yeah,
girl.
we got 10-year-old girls.
Yeah.
Show me the 36-year-old man. Find him, and have him come to me. And tell me he's taking Reagan out on a date.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll fucking wear his fucking face as a Halloween costume next year.
Yeah. And that should be the fucking standard, the bare minimum. Like, I don't think people understand how important it is to protect the children, even if you're not a parent yourself.
100%, dude.
Like, just because you're not a parent doesn't mean that the fucking children aren't important. Does society not understand if the children get fucked up, what happens? It boggles my mind that people, if grown men won't stand up for children.
What would they stand up for?
Yeah.
In my fucking experience, most grown men won't stand up for much except for their fucking paycheck, dude.
Okay, so they don't even have their own self-respect.
And so what's the solution to this? I honestly think the solution is, It's not the silent majority. It needs to be the vocal majority.
Yeah.
If you don't feel that the things that are being fucking presented to our society as normal or being pushed as a new way of life that our children need to embrace, or in your case, that thing you just read, a certain religious sector needs to embrace. If these things that are being forced upon our communities are something that is not congruent with your morals and ethics, you need to stand against it.
Yeah.
And if we stand against it with our voices, we won't have to stand against it with the sword.
No, we won't.
But if we don't stand against it with our voices, combat is imminent.
Yes. Yes. The only way.
That is it. That is it. And like what these fucking people don't realize, if we went and took a sample, if we just fucking stood out front of Costco for the next 6 hours and said, let's pull every 30 to 50-year-old man aside and show him that picture and say, do you have a daughter? When she was 10 years old, and a 36-year-old wanted to be in an intimate relationship with her, how would that make you feel, and what would you do? I'm going to say between 98 and 100% of those men, their solution would involve violence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly think most people may not even be capable of violence like some of us are.
Right.
But there is a standard where most men would arrive that violence is the logical conclusion. All right. So if we've already arrived there, yet we just take a back seat while this stuff consumes our fucking culture and our society. Well, your back seat that you think you're taking to be honorable or non-confrontational or I don't want to stir the pot. And I'm not saying you have to start a fucking podcast like we did, right?
Yep.
This conversation could be at your dinner table with your children.
Yeah.
This conversation could be at the fucking lunch table at work with your coworkers. Stop being manipulated to be silent and put your morals on the back burner because this fucking corrupt agenda wants to force feed you a new set of morals that for some reason you think you should just have to accept.
Yeah.
Teach your fucking kids what you think is morally and ethically accurate. And it ain't fucking fat fucking dudes saying they're women.
No.
It ain't fucking kids dating men.
And for the people who don't understand how important your voice is, that's the reason why it's the First Amendment.
Yeah. That's right.
The first one, not the second one.
Yeah.
The first one.
Because, bro, that's actually a great point because it supports exactly what I just said. If we don't exercise our First Amendment, inevitably we will have to fall on our Second Amendment.
That's where number 2 comes from.
And guess what? These motherfuckers that wrote the Constitution understood that.
yes, they understood. There's a reason why it's written a certain fucking way. We have to follow it. The next thing is the same way that they are like doing these loopholes to get us to not have firearms without actually taking away our Second Amendment. They do the same thing with the First Amendment.
100%,
right?
dude.
The censoring constantly. And if it gets so bad and you're too much of a, like, some people get so fearful that they will self-censor themselves.
Yeah, bro, self-censoring
is the number one
form of censorship.
Yes.
Because people are afraid of backlash.
That's it.
It's literally like when I spoke out on my video, bro, my phone was blowing up with people that I really care about and say, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're nuts. You're crazy. What are you doing? You're going to lose everything. Like, everybody self-censors, even though I've said it a million times. Behind closed doors at the lunch table, every cop agreed with me.
Yeah.
But most cops self-censor. You know?
Yep.
Most cops self-censor about everything, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're talking about being censored by like big tech or censored by like
there's all sorts of ways.
Cancel culture, all this stuff, right? But like, dude, the FBI colluded with the major media or the major social media networks, Facebook and Twitter in particular, to purposefully censor things leading into the 2020 election. And that is no longer a fucking conspiracy. Mm-hmm. There's testimony. There's people that have like, there's documents, there's paper trails where like, dude, FBI agents were fucking tasked with having meetings with executives from Twitter and Facebook to talk about different things that shouldn't be allowed and what things they expected to be censored.
Yeah.
And they fucking did it.
They did it.
These motherfuckers, why aren't they in jail?
Because I look at it like,
bro, it's out. It's out.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I was saying. If you are a fucking law enforcement officer and you're one of the good ones, and I think the majority of you guys are good ones.
I agree.
Your voice, in my opinion, I don't think that you should speak up. I think you are bound by duty.
You have to
speak up because you hold an authority position in society, period. All the you motherfuckers that are in the FBI and the DOJ and the ATF that have seen this stuff, what are you going to look back on and be more proud of when you're 85 years old? If you blew the fucking whistle and called the bullshit, or if you just fucking tucked your tail so you could get your next paycheck.
When they feel that they're going to be another body on the Clinton body count or another paddleboarder or whatever, I think that there's other nefarious things at some point. I think that they have something on them. I mean, it could be.
I think that a lot of
maybe
people,
not all of them.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people at the very top of these different organizations do have things like
Bad shit.
probably a picture on Epstein's Island with
Right.
a little boy or some really fucked up shit, right?
Yeah, but not your
that
local people.
I said that about The Rock.
Yeah.
When The Rock suddenly got on fucking television and was like, you know what? I sat down with Joe and Kamala and I really felt like they just have the right direction to take America. They're solution-oriented people. My bullshit radar went off instantly.
Yep.
Instantly. Like, I don't, again, like, I mean, if you support fucking Biden, I have to question if your brain works. And that's not because I'm a Republican. You know what I'm saying? It's not, dude. I don't even consider myself a Republican. I'm just a person.
You're not.
I'm a person. And bro, I've been listening to a lot of RFK stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he has a lot of good stuff.
Shit.
Dude, what the fuck? I've already got it, dude. What the fuck, dude? He's a fucking blah, blah, blah.
Okay,
and it's like, I'm not saying that he's the second coming of Christ. I'm saying he's a man that is saying some things that have a lot of validity to him.
Yes, absolutely.
And if you're not willing to fucking say that, you're lying, right? So I'm not saying like Joe Biden's a piece of shit because he's a Democrat. I'm saying he's a piece of shit because he's a piece of shit.
Yep.
And I also have a good bullshit fucking radar. And the way The Rock was talking was absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
And the reason that I said, man, they must have something on that motherfucker, because he's already probably fucking one of the richest men in the country. Yeah. He doesn't need your $5 million bribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he does risk, like, I can't have my whole career tarnished over fucking this or that.
Or they'll kill your babies.
You know?
Take your fucking wife. I mean, they do evil motherfucking shit.
And it's like, this is speculation because obviously I don't fucking know The Rock. I don't know anything about him. But when I watch something, again, just like I'm telling people to do, I'm going to share my honest opinion.
Of course.
And something was off there, bro.
The truth resonates on a different frequency, even if it's through a fucking television or over this podcast.
Yeah.
You know when someone's bullshitting or when it's like the truth, even if you don't actually know the real answer.
The details of,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
If you can't feel that, then you need to start honing in on your intuition.
I was going to say, bullshit radars, another good word for it is exactly that, intuition. And I learned in war that your intuition has this innate ability to see and feel things that are outside of our five senses that we're taught.
Yep.
And if you haven't experienced that, I promise you it's real.
Yeah.
I could sense ambushes coming to the point where our team, we had the same team for like a year and a half in Ramadi. And when you have the same group of dudes working in a fucking non-permissive environment, and you hear about it all the time, that's why some very, very strong bonds are forged in war between men, because you hone into each other's frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And bro, someone would get on the radio and be like, you feel that, guys? It's going down. It's about to go down. So just keep your head on a swivel because the air's thick right now. Wham!
Ambush.
And it's like, bro,
you know,
he's not a psychic.
No.
Or maybe he is a psychic. I mean, I don't know what you want to classify it as, but that wasn't the exception. That was the rule. And most people that have spent a substantial amount of time in non-permissive environments will tell you the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so like when that side of your being is honed for a long time, and then you get someone that walks in the jiu-jitsu academy and tells you some bullshit, I know you're full of shit already.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's not a special skill. I think it's something that probably almost every human on earth is it's part
should
of their
be part
being.
of you.
They probably just haven't honed it.
Yeah.
Because bro,
Or
like,
not taught about it.
think about like I honestly think, who was I just talking to this about? Oh, Anthony, the last podcast.
Yep.
He's like, bro, there's been times when I'm upwind from an animal, I'm silent, I'm 100% camouflaged. There's no physical way they're supposed to know I'm there. And they look at me and they spook and they run.
Yep. They know.
Bro, it's an energy
It's
thing.
energy. Yes.
And there's a fucking predator.
Yep.
And dude, we all have that in us.
All of us.
You know?
Yeah.
Like in the studio, I got the giant picture of a tiger that Jenny got me.
I love it.
And if that thing's behind you in the forest, you know it.
Yep. Yep.
You don't hear it, you don't see it, you don't smell it, but you fuck it. You're gonna know it right before you get your fucking spinal column bitten in
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. Because he's a sneaky motherfucker.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That we have the sixth sense. And I think that that's a huge part, you know, why are kids not learning this? When I have forest school, we're going over all this different shit. Let's
Yeah.
can we go smoke a joint real quick?
Yeah, we'll take a break. Let's do it. And we're back.
We're back. We were talking about forest school and why, like all the bullshit that's going on with the kids and how important it is to teach the kids.
Yeah. So I think before we go into that, it's just a recap. Like what we need to be doing as individual men ourselves, man, living in authenticity.
Yep.
I know that sounds like it's fucking like bullshit guru thing to say, but
And what
it's
does
just
that
like,
mean?
It just means what you feel in your fucking heart, voice that and live that and preach that. And you're inevitably going to attract the right kind of people because, bro, you know how it is. Look at the tribe we have here.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's just like, maybe one, right? But it doesn't matter like where they come from, who they are. Everybody knows in this building, like you're going to get people's authentic self.
Yeah.
And so like, obviously we already talked about talking and voicing. And again, not over a podcast, at your dinner table.
Yeah.
At your lunchroom, at
Yeah.
your
With
gym,
mom, with
right?
dad, with your brothers and sisters.
And what that does, that empowers other people in your community to understand like, oh, fuck, this is how we all feel.
Yeah.
This is, you know what I mean? It's like that that old man neighbor that fucking grabbed you the other day. It's
Bruce.
like, hey, your boys came and shook my hand. Like little things matter to people.
They did. He couldn't believe it. He's like, they noticed me. Okay, so I live in an area where I don't know any of my neighbors. We all have a lot of land, and I don't really ever see anyone. I figured they're old, retired. You know, they're not out riding their fucking bike around. And sure enough, he was driving, and my kids were out riding their bikes, and they all waved to him, as they should.
Yeah. It's an old man. It's your
And then
neighbor.
he comes back. I hadn't met him, and he stops at my house, and he goes, I just want to tell you that your kids waved to me, and it felt like 1950s again. Them out there riding their bikes, waving to old Bruce. He goes, I'm an old man. I haven't felt like someone's seen me in years.
Think about that, bro.
Like he's just this invisible soul walking amongst all of us because he's old.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stories does that guy have? What kind of knowledge and gold gems does he have hidden in his, pocket?
Yeah.
And
bro, so that goes right back to what we're saying. Like, you speak your truth, you preach your authenticity, but you give that to other people.
yeah, they can receive it.
And other people are going to receive goodness from you. And dude, we're not all aligned energetically. Some people are going to hate you no matter what.
Of course.
I have people that have told me they want to see my kids die. Okay,
Yeah.
we get it.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I hate you too.
Yeah, cool.
We can agree on that.
Yeah, you're a fucking sad person.
But the other people out there that you have the potential to share positive energy with, man, we're fucking bound by fucking honor to start doing this in our communities. I get to do it here, right?
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to talk about first for school, because it's not just at the dinner table. It's not just on the mats. It's being innovative
Yeah.
of how to enrich people that live in our fucking society. And the truth is, the children are the most important. You thought about that.
Yep.
You came up with the conclusion that I need to be a fucking, like a leader figure and start taking kids under my wing and teaching them things they need to learn. And it's already doing fucking awesome,
It's
huh?
already doing great. What better than I even thought?
So tell me about the idea of it, and then kind of what exactly, like the curriculum, and then what steps you took to kind of get it going?
Well, obviously, if you guys listen to my podcast or have heard me here before, I homeschool my kids. And that was because I foreseen this agenda of what we're talking about a long time ago, and I wanted to be proactive rather than reactive. Mm-hmm. But now I'm in a position, and I knew it would be the same as before, where when you go against the grain or you find out something that the rest of the people don't know, you're a crazy person. Mm-hmm. And most of the time they try and they get angry at you. They want to tear you down, and then they're confused. And then at some point, the truth always prevails, and they're like, oh. So in the homeschooling thing, at first I was slandered, knew that over a period of time, I didn't know it would get like this. But now it's got to the point where we're having podcasts talking about if there's any way possible to pull your kids out of school, pull them out.
You were also slandered for not vaccinating your kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, you told me about some of those fights.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And with the doctors.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys. Like I said, I shouldn't, as a knuckle dragger, metal worker, I shouldn't be able to come into the medical profession and fucking school you on the health and well-being of my brand new baby girl.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous to me. So anyways, over the course of watching more and more of my friends start pulling their kids out and being wary of what's going on, just like we talk about, not everyone's a warrior. Not everyone is meant to homeschool their child either. And so I realized, or maybe they're just not capable of it. And I was like, fuck, I have land. I feel like teaching the kids jiu-jitsu over the course of the last couple years has really allowed me to understand children, to find a love for children, and to be honest, more than anything, an obligation to show these children what a solid fucking dude really is. Someone that they can imitate, someone that they can,
which is exactly what tribes have been doing
since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of fucking time.
Imitating what you want your tribe to be.
Yeah.
And that's fuck, fight, feast, and love. Because those
and leading
things,
from the front.
That's it. That's all part of that.
It's like, fuck, man. It's parenting is a form of leadership.
100%.
And leadership 101 is ask nothing of my men that I'm not willing to do myself.
Yes.
So you walk the walk, you talk the talk, and then you barely have to fucking teach them at that point, because that is the mechanism at which you're teaching.
Yes. And
this is how I live.
And they will do, some people are going to be like, what? He said he wanted to teach fuck, fight, feast, and love to kids. Well, here's the deal, is that you want them to find, my job isn't to show them love. My kids know how reproduction works because we live in a natural state. We live on a farm. In the springtime, the animals fuck. That's what they do because they need to make babies and have them old enough to not die for the wintertime. It's just,
the life cycle is well understood on the Stanaway Ranch.
Yeah, and they see everything happen. Okay,
as well as watching half the animals get fucking ripped apart by coyotes.
Fuck yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, they've seen that too. Actually, just yesterday, one of the bunnies is dead. I don't know how it fucking died. They seem to all. There's 4 of them. They all seem good. This one's fucking dead, stiff. Been dead for a little bit.
Do you know that we have marmots around here that are literally, you know what a marmot is, right? It looks like a little weasel, yeah. Right? They're like, the one we saw in the backyard was 10 inches long and probably, you know what? It would be a perfect description of them as the cylinder at the end of a roll of paper towels.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Not very big.
Yep.
And dude, Jenny got a little video of it. Thing fucking ran into the yard and killed a rabbit that was like fucking the size of a football.
Okay. Yeah, way bigger than it.
Way bigger, and drug it out under the fence, dude.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, maybe that's your culprit. I didn't know that even.
This one's just I don't know what the fuck happened, but yeah, I mean, and that happens all the time. It's a part of life. At the same time, we have turkey babies and duck babies. Like for every one that dies, it seems like there's 5 more that get brought in.
Yeah.
It's just the natural cycle.
Nature had already figured out a way.
Exactly. So at essentially, I got to the point where I wanted to start bringing in other people's children who Maybe they live in an apartment. Maybe they live in a cul-de-sac. Maybe they don't get to go out into nature very much. Maybe they're still at school and they don't get much recess time or PE time. And so I was like, I guess I'm going to make forest school, because whenever I'm in the forest, I feel like alive. I feel it goes back to this like natural feeling. Like it feels better than when I stand in a city.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me.
No, bro, that stuff is now starting to be proven through science.
Okay, well there you go, you science followers.
They're doing. I just saw a thing a couple days ago talking about grounding.
Okay,
and how it's actually there's physical energy that you can actually monitor being transferred between yourself and the planet. Mm-hmm. And it even said like touching trees is also can conduct the same grounding as being on the ground without shoes on, obviously, right? Yep. And like that kind of stuff was hippie bullshit up until a couple years ago for most people.
Right.
You know, like to the point where the term tree hugger is derogatory.
Yeah.
Call
me tree hugger all you want.
And now it's like, oh,
there's
actually something that happens, and they've been doing studies on it, finding that it actually reduces inflammation, reduces autoimmune issues, and it's like
it brings you back into balance. Because what I think a lot of people don't understand is that we're energetic beings having a human experience, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. We're not humans having an energetic experience. We are we have a soul, and then we have a vessel. And that soul is energy. It never goes away. It's forever. So when you go and connect yourself to giant fucking antennas, like a cedar tree that goes 200 feet up in the air into the atmosphere and is rooted way into the ground, any beginner electrician knows that ground and positive, when it makes a connection, there's an electrical circuit. It makes perfect sense now that I'm an adult. And then I go back to the derogatory term of a tree hugger. And I'm starting to go into all these derogatory terms: tree hugger, conspiracy theorist. Why are they deemed so bad? And then I look into it and it's a fucking inversion.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's crazy. So I decided that I'd start forest school. I cleared out a path around my whole entire property. I built like a little shelter. I started bushcrafting different things, sawhorses, benches, little beds, without using any type of nails, just literally a hatchet. That's the only a hatchet and a pocket knife, so that I can show these kids like you do not need much. All you need is your mind and a belief and a little bit of knowledge, which is what the elder of the tribe is supposed to do. Yeah. And if your parents don't know this, it's not against them. There's lots of things I don't know. I just happen to know this. So I'm going to teach you guys this. And we go out there and we had campfires. We whittle sticks. We made fucking spears. We do plant identification tests where we walk the nature trail and I tell them, I just ask. I point to a leaf. What's this? What's the name? What can we use it for? Does it kill us? Is it medicine or is it edible? And these little 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds are now walking around going, there's a hazelnut tree. There's stinging nettles. We can make tea with that. Tyler said that that'll kill us. Don't touch those white berries, but we can have these salmon berries. And it's like, adults don't even know this.
Yeah.
So.
And they're probably fascinated by it.
Oh, dude, they fucking love it, bro. And they're all dirty. I have this big ass ravine that they had. And all he keeps saying is like, we never get to do this ever. Summer camp sucks compared to forest school. And I'm like, that's because I let you guys be free. I just supervise. This is the difference of having like a true masculine guide. A masculine guide is not a mother guide. A mother is always there, nurturing you, picking up when you fall. Hey, don't go over there. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get muddy. Dad is like, look, these are the rules.
Yeah.
You're going to get fucking hurt if you guys dick around. Okay? If you guys horseplay around, you're going to get hurt, and then we're not going to do this anymore, and this will no longer be a part of it.
Yeah. So if you like this, better be mindful of your fucking hatchet's blade.
That's it.
You know?
And so I'm going to step back and I'll oversee and I'll step in when I need to. But you guys need to figure out your own shit, and you're going to hurt your ankle. You're going to twist. You're going to get sprains because
it's like the military calls it. Give someone a task, condition, and standard.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is the task. These are the conditions, and this is the standard. Go. And it's like, you know, you can go down some big leadership rabbit holes with this one, but it's basically like decentralized command. If you give other people the autonomy to go out there and do, that's actually where the good leaders perform the best.
Okay.
It's the same thing with the children.
Yeah.
You give them a task, condition, and standards, and more often than not, people want to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to do good. That's innate inside of us.
Yes.
So there's nothing like, it's cool hearing this, but at the same time, it's like, we should all just be saying, duh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like, dude, let the kids be the kids. They establish their own pecking order. They establish, if you let them just be, they at first they need some you know, figuring it out, just like any other thing. But they establish their pecking order, and then they just start thriving off of each other. They start chasing each other. They start doing all this cool shit, and then I try and keep it structured for most of the time, but at the same time, I want them to feel free.
Yeah.
I don't want to put like boundaries on it, but I do have limits. And so like one day I was like, any of you guys ever planted your own plant? You want a pet plant? You want to see if you can create a relationship with it good enough to where it'll give you a bean or something that you could actually pick and eat off of it? Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah. I go, okay. And so we all, you know, I went through the mushrooms of the mycelium network. We went and got the difference between dirt and soil. And then we went over and showed them what the compost is and the mulch and then how to plant the seed.
I should fucking attend for school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for real. And so we're going through all of this, and then I will tell them things that I've came across that's, whether it's true or not, I don't know, because I've never done the studies, folklore or myth lore. Okay?
Yeah.
There's myth lore, folklore of if you suck on the seed, because all things are energetic, it will pick up what you're lacking. Okay, so if you suck on a tomato seed and you're low in potassium, apparently according to the natives, that seed will register that you're low in potassium and grow a tomato that has a higher potassium content for you. So,
and again, 5 years ago, you're fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah. Well,
but bro, I don't fucking discredit the possibility of any of that stuff now.
So I say, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to put the dirty seed in your mouth.
Well, here's the other thing that could literally be taking place is the mind is proven to be able to affect fucking
everything.
Physics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. What is reality?
But that's, I mean, that can happen. Like you can actually, you know, you want to talk about like manifestation and things like that, but also like on a molecular level, they've been able to prove that observing things can change the outcome. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
So there is some relationship with our mind and the physical universe.
Yeah.
And maybe that's all that's taking place is your body is doing like a self-assessment.
Yep.
And now when you grow that plant, it's going to give what your mind programmed it to give you.
Yeah, yours.
And maybe it makes it pull it out of the soil differently, or who fucking knows, man.
Yeah. And if that is true, then what's happening with these what kind of information are we gathering from these GMO tomatoes from Monsanto, or, you know, what is the big companies do intentions in these seeds or whatever it is, if that is a true thing. So growing their own food, that's obviously a huge thing. I have them feed the animals every morning. We do, as soon as they get there.
So talk me through a day. Parents drop them off.
Parents drop them off. I have them sign a waiver, 9 o'clock in the morning.
And then you get, I mean, some of those pictures look like you had 10 kids out there or something.
Yep. Yeah, okay. 10, 11, 12 kids. And
is it the same kids, or do you got
some? So I have like the same kind of core right now of like 5 or 6. And then there's been a couple that have been in and out, like today. Actually, this morning I had 2 new kids.
Is it 5 days a week?
No, it's just 2 for now.
Okay.
Because I needed to get kids, but if there's a demand, fucking send the kids, you know?
Well, and the cool thing about this is one of those things that has the potential. I was actually thinking about this the other night because you told me, has it been 6 months that you're like, I'm done running in the hamster wheel for other men.
Yeah.
I'm going to go figure out my own shit.
Yep.
And I was thinking about this last night or the other night. I was like, dude, Tyler told me he's going to figure out his own shit. And then he just opened up this forest school. And I'm like, my brain would have never come to that conclusion. Because, dude, I'm always looking for ways to become a more financially successful person. And there's no shame in that.
Yeah.
And I take a lot of pride in teaching jiu-jitsu, but also jiu-jitsu is giving back to my family now financially.
Yeah.
And I've dumped most of it back in the gym, but maybe next year I buy a fucking car with it. Like it's whatever. That's a benefit that it gives you, right?
Yep.
This has the potential to be extremely successful for you.
Yeah.
Because society fucking needs it.
Yep.
My father told me this one time, and I went against his advice teaching jiu-jitsu. Because he said, bro, when you go into business, you have to go into businesses that every swinging dick, that was his term.
Yep.
Every swinging dick needs. He goes, that's why I decided to open up an auto mechanic shop. Because I will have customers for life. Because cars get older and they break down. I'm there to fix them. And that's how he started his empire, right?
Yep.
And then like I think, fuck man, I opened jiu-jitsu. 1% of the society is interested in jiu-jitsu. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but look at what's happening.
We're changing it.
That's it. Is because that's part of the jiu-jitsu goes directly along with forest school.
And that's where I was going with it. It's the same thing.
The same.
Bro.
Well, they're together because I don't do jiu-jitsu at forest school, but I incorporate the things that we talk about here. So for instance, at 9 o'clock in the morning, the kids get dropped off. If there's even one new person, we're going to circle up and we're going to introduce ourselves. We're going to say our age. We're going to say what school we go to. We're going to say, our age, what school we go to, 2 things that we like I like jiu-jitsu and I like to be outdoors or whatever it is. And then your favorite color, just so that we can all get a little
icebreaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we all know each other. Okay. Then we're all going to grab hands. When's the last time you touched someone's hand next to you?
Yeah.
Okay. We're all going to grab hands. We're going to make a big ass circle and we're going to pull out until our arms stretch. And then we're going to take 2 more steps back so we have enough room and we're going to stretch. That's the first thing we're going to do this morning. You come to forest school, we're going to stretch because we're going to go get after it out in these woods. And I wrestled super hard last night and I need to stretch. And I don't want to be an old man that can't move around. And they're like, okay. So we stretch. And then this morning in particular, me and Vanessa grabbed a bunch of Ziploc bags and we went on probably a mile walk to go get blackberries. And we went and we all picked blackberries. And then we came back and then we went and did some wattle fencing. So I show them how to make a fence out of branches. Just chop some sticks down, pound some stakes in, use your foot as a measurement, 1.5 foot, and then put the next stake, 1.5 foot, put the next stake, and then go get little branches and start weaving it together. Every branch that goes down is opposite of the one that you just put, and it'll start weaving a basket as a fence. You don't need no fucking nails. You don't need no nothing. And they're like, okay, but
fuck, dude. And I didn't even smoke another joint. I'm not high at all.
Yeah.
But there's something about that just gives you chills.
Oh, it's legit.
Because a lot of humans, not all, but I think a lot, have this innate drive to create and build. Mm-hmm. And most people don't do that anymore.
No.
Me included. I don't fucking build shit hardly ever. But when I do, and you're done with it, and you're just standing looking at it, and it could be, it's your first fence. It's not going to be very legit.
No.
It's not going to be able to contain your goats. But they built something.
They did.
And when you're 6, I promise that feels fucking good, dude.
Bro, we made spears and had spear throwing contest. All of us. We had to go find a good spear. We had to fucking take the axe and we had to sharpen it down. I mean, I helped a lot obviously.
Yeah.
And then we put a line and we're like, okay, let's pretend there was an animal. We're all out here. We're hungry. One of us has to hit it. There's 10 of us here. And let's make a little target and see where it's at. And they fucking love it, bro. It's legit. And then, the fire.
How are they making fire?
Well, I used a lighter, but I made them gather all the materials.
Yeah.
But now it is super fucking dry, super dry. And so I've been putting the fire. I haven't been having a fire because I don't have any way of bringing water and shit back there. Like if it does get out of control.
Well, bro, I mean, again, not that the government's going to dictate when you have a fire, when you don't, but there's a fucking burn ban right now.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
For good reason.
Because out on Mountain Loop, they had a gnarly fire, I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's your farm. You don't want it to burn down.
No.
You're a fucking smart human being.
That's
You
it.
don't need
So
a burn
it's-
ban.
Nope. So it's like, hey, kids, we're not having a fire. So that's why we've been doing some other stuff. But as soon as either it rains a bunch or as weather changes, all these things are going to start changing. I mean, I talked about grounding with them. I talk about holding the cedar tree and fucking, you guys are sad, you have a headache, you have inflammation, go to the cedar tree, go get barefoot, go put your hands in your cedar tree and think about all those things that are bothering you and put it into the tree and it'll take it, I promise, but it won't last. That's the thing. It'll be good for a little bit and then it's going to come back. And you got to remember to go back to the cedar tree. I said, you do it it doesn't have to be a cedar tree, any fucking tree. Do it 3 times maybe, but by the 3rd time, usually it's gone. Don't believe me? I don't care. Try it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the kids,
and again, like,
and maybe it's all placebo. Maybe I'm making that happen.
and placebos are real. So either way, you know, but regardless of what's real and what's not real is like, they're fucking engaged, dude.
They are. And they're making bonds now because they're doing shit in the forest together. And I make them stay quiet for a little bit and tell me what birds you hear. How many different sounds do you hear? You guys ever looked up in the fucking forest? Or are you just staring at your tennis shoes? Today, I had to tape little Roxanne's fucking pockets shut. Because one of the rules at forest school is get your hands out of your fucking pockets.
Yeah.
This ain't pavement. This isn't a nice surface. We're in the woods,
You're
man.
gonna trip over a
You're gonna
root,
trip,
smash
and
your
you're-
face in.
100%.
Yeah.
So all day, I'm like, Roxanne, get your hands out of your pockets. Roxanne, get your hands out of your pockets. Finally, I said, come here. And I went in the garage, I
Got some
grabbed
duct
tape. I fucking tape them up.
Yeah.
And you could see him. I'd catch him. I say, you try and get your hands in your pockets, but they keep sliding down your pants, son. He's like, yeah. I said, see how bad of a habit that is? We stopped that, okay? You want to be a warrior child? You want to be a little Viking? Get your fucking hands out of your pockets. You need to be able to have your tools in front of you at all time, just like jiu-jitsu. I talk about our health, right? I talk about, I made them all carry a big ass log, one that was way too heavy for even 2 of them or 3 of them to carry by themselves. All 5 of them had to figure it out.
Bro, that's literally fucking, you watch any selection, SEALs, Rangers, log PT.
There you go.
Because it teaches teamwork.
That's it.
And it also, not only does it teach you teamwork, but it shows you who's a shitbag.
Yep.
Because there are people that don't want to carry their fair share. Mm-hmm. And the only outcome of not being willing to carry your fair share is to disperse it on your teammates. Very unfair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
you know?
unfair. So yeah, I fucking had them doing that. I had them, actually today, I had talked about the telephone game. This is just something that came up in my mind. And I said, here's the deal. Tinsley, what if Dad and me and a couple of you guys are out on a hike and I sprain and I hurt my ankle, I fall down a cliff and I like impale myself on a stick. I cannot move, but Dad's cell phone's dead or we have no service. You are not capable of getting 15 miles by yourself. But if you could make it to the next person and tell them what's going on, then that message could go to the next person until it could get to the ambulance or whoever it is.
Yeah.
So they could come and save me. I started making them do telephone with 12 of us. And until the message from the person who called the telephone to the person who received it at the end
Was accurate.
correct. And it took them like fucking 10 tries today. And I said, look, I would have died all of those times. Sometimes you're going to have to play telephone game. And right now it's silly and it's fun and we're having a good time, but it could be serious.
Yeah.
So you need to not fuck around when you hear the message and then you change it or you're giggling or it's laughing. I want you guys to have a good time, but the message needs to be clear.
Yeah.
And they finally were like, yeah, you're right. And so we got it. We got the fucking message that said, okay, you guys rescued. Let's go back into the forest and go kick ass.
Fuck, dude. I think this is going to blow up, bro.
Dude.
I think this could potentially be, you know, like Tim Kennedy started his school
Yeah.
teaching values that he thinks are congruent with what America needs.
Yeah.
And if more people would do that,
That.
you know, fuck, man. Like if you could inspire 1 or 2 kids, you're doing your part.
Yeah.
If you could inspire dozens, you're making a impactful change that's fucking tangible.
Yes. And
You
I
know?
tell the kids too, like I've told all of them, you guys need to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm one of the coaches at jiu-jitsu. You want to be a warrior. You're coming to Viking school, kids. We're outside. We're using axes. We're using knives. You don't get to fucking do that at your school. Some of your parents probably don't let you do that. That's why you guys love forest school.
Yeah.
However, there is a thing too that for the last little bit, a few people have gotten hurt. They cut themselves. And it's because I don't have enough students yet to fully make a large, before we separated little kids and big kids for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
There's just too much. You give a 12-year-old who wants to, do some shit, but then you have a 6-year-old and he's running around behind your back. And it's like, yeah, we can't do that.
It's trial and error,
yeah,
right? And like we did that with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I mean, when the kids program started, it was 6 to 12,
yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we realized very quickly and bro, I'm kind of coming to that conclusion again.
Yeah.
I think I might bump 14 and above to adult class.
Yeah.
Because fucking Hannah rolling with fucking Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it starts to become a little harder to manage.
Well, yeah. Elijah and Hannah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. In Elijah's game, because he's not afraid of anyone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as we're building these kids up, give them the environment that's going to give them the most success.
Yeah.
And it sounds like if you reach a point where your focus can be like, hey, Mondays, Wednesdays are fucking 6 to 9, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are 9 to 14 or whatever it is, it'll probably run a little smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just got to get there.
That's how it goes, though.
It starts.
It starts
with that intuition, that like, whatever, man, I guess this is what I'm going to do. And once again, you carve up, no one, fuck, I don't know what forest school is. They're like, what's forest school? I'm like, I'm not really sure. Just fucking some vision I have in my head that needs to be put into reality. And now it's a real thing. And now I just, like jiu-jitsu, I come in and I fucking learn.
Yeah.
And I learn and I learn and I learn. And you can't expect to ever understand the black belt level of, Greg, what is jiu-jitsu, until you did that over 20 years of doing it.
Yeah.
So when you ask me what forest school, I think it's this. This is where it starts. But
it's white belt forest school.
It's white belt forest school.
Yeah. But guess what? Bro, the white belt phase of your journey is probably the most transformative.
Yeah.
So fucking A, man.
We got to do it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then as the seasons change, if this is still if there's a demand and people want a thing, then the curriculum will change. Because at some point you're not going to be out in your fucking, swim trunks standing in the sunshine.
Yeah.
It gets fucking cold around here.
Yep.
But also, and there's not going to be things to harvest. You don't plant a seed when it's, Halloween time.
Yeah.
But then all of the herbs and stuff that we've been growing, there's
seasonal lessons.
That's it.
Year round. Yeah.
And I hope to
get them out there in the fucking snow.
Yeah.
Build fucking
that's when it's time to build shit, right? And when to chop the wood down, when all the greenery is all down on the ground and it's more clear. You're not trying to go through fucking sticker bushes everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. That's the goal with forest school.
Bro, I'm hopeful that someone will hear this and will help this.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know how. I'm not even saying help it like financially.
Yeah.
But there's someone. I mean, we have the audience of this podcast is comprised of cool motherfuckers.
Of course.
From what I found. You know what I mean? Like people I hear cool stories all the time coming through email. There's someone somewhere that this is going to resonate with. You're going to get I bet you get some cool shit coming your way. We'll
see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I would love it. The whole goal is to make this fucking earth better.
Yeah.
Like that I think that's where I'm arriving to, is like, it's so fucked on every single level. And we can sit here for the next 10 years and go through all the evil shit and corruption. Okay, what are we going to do about it? It goes back to the complaining, the bitching and moaning without the solutions, and we're doing it. And one person can't change the fucking world, but one person can spread the message that can change the world. And it's not a message that I came up with. It's the message of, we need to bring back peace, love, and harmony. And I don't mean that in a pussified way.
Yeah, some Well, I was going to say some hippie way, but the thing is, maybe the hippies were probably
maybe they were right, but
yeah, they were fucking the ones that were dialed in.
Well, you need to be, in my opinion, what I'm learning is like, I was always warrior my whole fucking life, fighting everything. And as I became more enlightened, more spiritually inclined, it's just the duality. It's the yin and the yang. It's not one is bad, one is good.
Yeah.
Is the reptile fucking people bad or are they good? And who am I to say what side they're on? I don't fucking know. It's just, I think I'm good and they think that they're good, and who's right?
Yeah.
So as far as that goes, I don't fucking know. I'm not the judge. But what I have found is that darkness is low vibration. It's depression, it's anxiety, it's frustration, jealousy, all these low vibrational shit. And love is passion, enthusiasm, kindness, nurturing, giving, all of those things. And that's the light. And like we talked about, light, only a little bit of light will dismiss an incredible amount of darkness. So I don't even believe that we need to get every single person on board. I think that light, once we light up light and light this room up and people can see, they'll be like, oh fuck, look at this shit over here.
Bro, it's that fucking room right behind you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so
you can hear there's people literally cheering out there right now. I don't know what they're cheering at.
No, but
kids class is going down, I think. Let's see. Yeah, kids class just started.
Okay.
6 to 9 year old. So they're out there doing their thing.
Bringing in energy, bringing in positive shit. And I think that that's really where we need to get at with Forest School. If you feel that that's something that you vibe with or that you align with, or you feel that you're on that frequency as well, yeah, please get in contact with me.
And you're still using the Stanaway Roots and Ravens at Gmail?
Yep.
Okay, so I will put your contact info, like I do every time you're on the show, in the show notes below.
Yep.
So if you want to contact Tyler, you can just literally click the fucking iTunes app, scroll up, and all that shit will be right there.
Yeah. And I'll go home and ask Vanessa. She might have changed it to Compassionate Viking, but I'll send it over to you. Regardless, it'll be
on the show notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Brown Belt Path real quick, or you want to be done?
Oh fuck, man. I mean, we're already at 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, fuck, man. I love having you on. I was actually thinking the other day, I was like, instead of always seeking new guests, maybe I purposefully gear the show towards the guests that are most well received, and just sit down and talk life. You know,
well, that's where we're going to learn the most.
Because there's a lot of people or a lot of shows that are always bringing new people on, and that's cool because new people are new perspectives and there's stuff to learn, right? But then there's also like Andy and DJ, it's them every week.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so sometimes I think about, bro, like the things that are working, pour more energy into that.
Of course.
You know? And so like I love that I can fucking just hit you up anytime, be like, let's get an episode going. Like, fuck yeah, let's do it. I think we decided this last night.
Yeah.
And then we can sit down and record 2.5 hours every single time, because it's the fucking, when you're preaching the truth and you're preaching positivity and growth and strength, there's no end to that message.
No.
And it shouldn't be something that people hear and it like, fuck, it's the same old shit. It's repetitive shit. Like there is shit that gets repetitive, right? But there's, when you're receiving something that inspires you, receiving that weekly or monthly or daily or whatever, it feels good every time.
Yeah.
And so like, I think about that with the show. If we can put a message out there that empowers people, it's just like what you said to the kids. You rest your head on that tree, it feels good for a while, and then things will go back and you'll probably need to rest your head on that tree again. That's the same concept with what I want to put out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and the coolest thing about this is it's like, I don't know. You know me, bro. I don't think of myself as a fucking guru or someone that like should be calling the shots or telling you what to do. I say it to the team all the time. I've just been, someone showed me the magic, and now I have the ability to show other people the magic.
Yeah.
And primarily I do that on the mats, but this podcast does it to a lot of people too.
100%.
And like for people that think that is, not as important or as authentic as it is, like I promise you, like we hear people all the time that are like, listen to the podcast, you said like this diet worked for you, so I tried that, And then I started jiu-jitsu, and the path has begun.
Oh, dude.
So every time we put this out there and talk about, it's not the same old shit. We never talked about forest school before, but the
Or
foundation.
about Obama sucking dick, doing blow with
Yeah.
Larry Sinclair.
But the foundation of the message is the same. It's go out there and do.
You have to do.
Go out there and do. And you'll be fucking surprised at how fast your life changes.
And quit fearing failure. Because
Bro, the path to success is literally paved with failure.
it is.
That's the only way there.
Like, bro, you should take the fact that as a brown belt, I can honestly say that I'm proud that I failed for so long, because that's what makes having a brown belt feel so good.
Yeah.
Because I did get my ass beat for a long time, as did any other person who has a brown belt or black belt or purple belt.
Yeah.
That's why it's like we just fucking seek the easiest goddamn route on everything, and then wonder why we're empty and we have no fulfillment, we have no confidence, we have no self-esteem, we don't see ourselves of worthiness or value. Of course not. You do nothing.
Yeah.
You do nothing. So your soul knows that you do nothing. So therefore, even if someone gives you a compliment, wow, you look pretty, or wow, you look like a fucking stud today, or whatever it is, you know that you don't feel that way.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, because self-love is the real fucking thing. If you don't love yourself, you can never really love somebody else, because you're seeking, you're being like a vampire. You're taking theirs and filling yours up, and then that leaves that person empty. When you have self-love, you do this by doing fucking hard shit. You do it by enduring things. You do it by failing and failing at different things until you prove to yourself that you can do it. And that's where the confidence comes in. Oh shit, I can do it. If I don't give up and I keep just trucking along, it'll fucking happen.
Yeah.
But no one does that, because we're a 3 to 4 minute attention span society.
Yep.
You cannot accomplish anything. I can't teach you anything. You can't learn anything in 3 to 4 fucking minutes.
And bro, here's the most strange part of when you start to seek that. What you're going to find is people either align with that, or people start to kind of almost have jealousy.
Oh yeah.
That you're now seeking something that's going to build you up.
Yeah.
You know, and a perfect example, we have a new member who's fully embraced the team.
Yep.
Fully. And he said, like, he pulled me aside last night again. I'll tell you who it is after the show. He pulled me aside again last night. And he goes, man, every time I walk in here and I see like you and Stanaway and half the other men, he goes, I look at your bodies and it's just like, I want to be that. That's what I want to be. And bro, that ain't gay shit. That ain't fucking like weak shit. That's if you're in a room full of men that have been training and grinding for 20 years, they have something that you want that you don't have yet. And the fastest way to get it is to jump into that room.
Yeah.
And bro, he's embraced clean eating. He's embraced cold water therapy. He's embraced 3 nights a week of jiu-jitsu. And he's down 40 fucking pounds already.
I know who it is.
40 fucking pounds.
Dude.
And he told me last night.
It's been like, what, 8 weeks?
Something like that. Hasn't been that long.
No.
And he told me last night, he's like, yeah, you know, like I went to work with a black eye the other day and my bosses like thought I was crazy. Like, what are you doing? Why do you have a black eye? What are you doing? He's like, I trained last night. Bro, black eyes are part of training.
Yep.
Key scrapes on your face. Fucking cauliflowered ears.
Yep.
Like your body's going to get worn out training.
Yep.
And a lot of people find that to be very strange. You know, same thing. He's eating clean foods now. And people are like, bro, all you're going to eat tonight is 1 piece of fruit.
Yeah.
Or like, because he's prescribed himself a diet.
Yep.
Down 40 pounds. So guess what? The diet's working.
Yep.
And people still think it's strange.
Well, because what it is doing is he is enlightening himself.
Yeah.
His spirit at some point, his soul at some point recently has came to the point where he can no longer live the way that he was living.
Yeah.
Okay, it overtook his fucking monkey. We have our thinking mind, and then we have our heart and our soul. And our monkey mind is incredibly good at survival.
Yeah.
And it does a super fucking good job at it. But at some point, usually around 30s, 40s, our soul wants to take over. The monkey mind is great at surviving. It's not great at thriving. And his soul started aching and says, I need something more than this, whatever it is. I can no longer live this way.
Well, I'll tell you, You know what? I should have him on the show.
You should.
Have him tell the story, because he's been in the military a very long time.
Okay.
And he was overweight.
Okay.
And he said, I showed up for my new assignment. I mean, he's been in the military for a long time. So he's high ranking. And I don't know what rank he is. But he told me, he goes, man, I showed up to my new command overweight. How are any of the men going to respect me? And I said, they won't.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's the fucking truth.
They won't.
They won't.
It goes by, we said it earlier, an obese body shows that you don't take your life seriously.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig at anybody that's obese right now. The reason you're obese is because you have allowed, just like you said, the monkey brain that says eat, 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 to the point where it's now made you sick. To me, and to most people, even if it's on a subconscious level, you're telling those people, I don't take who I am seriously.
Yeah.
Right? And it hurt him.
I bet.
And he fucking decided to change. That's what it's all about.
That's it. So he enlightened it right at that very moment.
Yeah.
Says, my soul says I'm going to do something right now.
Yeah.
And so he comes here and he does it. And what happens is he starts, ooh, look at that.
Fuck yeah, goosebumps, bro.
Yeah. He's bringing in his fucking real self, his higher self, his soul body.
He's getting in the ice every day.
There you go. And what happens is
he'll
that light is shining darkness on those people's, all their shadows.
Yeah.
It's for the next fat person, they're like, oh, I don't want to be by whoever it is. Or I don't like that, because what it's doing is it's showing this person that they're not doing the work.
It's showing them that there's a path
And they're not doing it.
and you're not willing to get on the path.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and because they're cowards and they're not following their own soul, because their own soul feels that way. That's why you can tell they're broken, because they're trying to pull them down. If they weren't broken people don't tear other people down. Only broken people tear other people down.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Broken people do tear other people down.
Only broken people tear people down.
Yeah.
Healed people do not tear other people down. We want to see them succeeding and thriving and progressing. And so what I found is that as we grow spiritually, like become better, want to bring more love and positivity into this world and spread the fucking forgotten knowledge that we should all have, the people who are having the light cast down upon them, it's too much. It's like bringing in all the Walmart people into jiu-jitsu on a Friday night and just giving them all a royal ass whooping. They're like,
They're not ready for that.
no.
Yeah.
So what I found the best thing to do is we just be our authentic selves. We speak the truth. We don't do that. And the people who like the light will come, because light attracts light. It doesn't attract darkness. The darkness repels itself. That's why they're trying to tear you down. But as the light, you need to set that boundary of, do I dim my fucking light? Do I self-censor? Do I follow in line? Do I obey my orders? Or do I keep my light fucking lit up and let the darkness go away?
Yeah. No, bro. And I mean, fuck. Again, something that we've talked about often. It's like the people that want to consistently try and dim the light, just get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
And I'm sorry if that's your mother or your fucking girlfriend.
Yeah.
But if the people that are closest to you don't want to see you win, they're actually not close to you.
They're not on your team.
Yeah.
They're on the opposite team.
Yeah.
So,
and like misery loves company. So if your girlfriend's 40 pounds overweight and you're 40 pounds overweight, and you say, you know what, babe, instead of eating pizza and watching Netflix today, let's go on a fucking jog. And that's intimidating to people, because I say it all the time, bro. It's not where you're at on the path.
no.
It's you're either on it or you're off it.
Yep.
And if you're on it, it intimidates some people. And if you're off of it, some people seek comfort in that, because they know this person's on my team of being lazy, complacent, and just fucking coasting, dude.
Okay. With that being said, that's because of power. And what I mean by power is that you and I feel a lot of people can tell when there's another powerful human being. If you are a weak human being, I think this is just human nature. If you are weak and you know you're weak and you get around powerful human beings, you're vulnerable as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you are another powerful human being and you know what you're capable of, as do you, as do I can now interact with you on I understand what you can do to me, but I'm not fearful of that. We both have a gentleman's agreement that neither of us wants to fucking fight each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
We both know, win or lose, we're not getting out of this
Unscathed.
unscathed.
Yeah.
So Now our powers we can put the sword and shield down, and we can sit here and podcast in love. We don't have to fight, right? Whereas when these people are starting to get on the path, the people who are not on the path, they're weak and vulnerable. And when you start to go around someone who you were with, you felt on the same plane, and now they're gaining power. Losing weight is gaining power.
Yeah.
Getting fit is gaining power. Learning jiu-jitsu is a fucking superpower. Well, now your buddy's got 3 powers on you that he's building up, and you can feel it. You're vulnerable. You don't like it.
Yeah.
Just like the squirrel doesn't want to hang out with the coyote. I get it. But the thing is that you have a choice, unlike that squirrel. You are a special human being, a special creation too. You just need to choose to get on the path. I don't know what that looks like for you or what it consists of. It doesn't need to be jiu-jitsu, but it needs to be on the path of goodness, this enlightened path of bringing positivity back to the world. You cannot bring positivity if you're obese. You cannot bring positivity if you are not capable. You cannot, matter of fact, capable. I had to carry a little girl. She sprained her ankle, and I had to carry her probably, I don't know, not that far, quarter mile, but on my back. And the whole time I was thinking,
a lot of people couldn't do that.
No.
Yeah.
That little girl would have to walk on her sprained ankle the whole fucking time because they can barely walk the quarter mile.
Yeah.
So just think about it. Get on the path, and just like we tell the kids, just like I tell kids at forest school on whatever we're doing, I don't give it. This isn't a test. I'm not testing you. I need you guys to just try.
Yeah.
Okay? If we're going to bend down and touch our toes or put your palms on the ground, I don't expect all of you guys to do it. I wish you could, but that's unreasonable and that's not reality. However, I would rather you lock your legs in place and just reach down as far as you can, even if it's a foot off the ground, than you bending your knees and making your hands touch.
Yeah.
It's not a test. I don't give a fuck how good you guys are. We'll all get great. At one day, we'll all have our hands on the ground as long as we just keep doing this with these expectations. There is none. I just expect you to try.
Yeah.
And that is the path, is you just got to get on. Don't worry about where you're trying to, just get on the fucking path. Start doing good. You know,
bro, it's like I tell the kids very regularly: consistency, effort, and attitude. And I only say that to the kids class.
Okay.
Should say that to everybody.
Say it to the adults.
It should be on the fucking wall.
It should, because every day you have the opportunity, not you have to fucking wake up with the sun, wake up with the birds, and live another day. And I think a lot of us are in this mindset of like, oh, I have to fucking do this, I have to do that. That's because you're not doing what you're supposed to fucking do.
Bro,
you're stuck in the matrix.
I used to dread waking up.
Me too.
As did you.
Yep.
You know?
And because we're not doing our soul's purpose.
Yeah.
You're doing your soul's purpose, and that's why your life is the way it is. I'm doing my soul's purpose. That's why my life is the way it is. I couldn't have told you that I was going to do forest school. Even 6 months ago, I couldn't have told you that. You just follow your fucking heart and understand that you get 24 hours in a day. And when you go to bed at night, think to yourself, how many of those hours were spent making the world in my life better compared to making the world in my life worse? Think about it.
Yeah.
You get one every day. I've been trying to see if I can get fucking 18 hours of constant making the world better. And what I see is that ebb and flow. The more that I fucking give, the more that I start receiving back. The more that I give, the more I start receiving back. All these vultures, these fucking people breaking into our cars, they're take. They're not going to get anything back. They're going to get fucking death and strung up.
Yeah.
So that's my answer to all of this.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you what, man, as you're saying the hours of the day, you think about literally each hour. How many hours are wasted.
Yep.
And
I'm not perfect, you guys. I fuck up all the time, bro.
Perfect, bro. But you know where I'm more imperfect than normal lately is that fucking phone, dude.
Yep.
So I think maybe we fucking do you have a screen timer on your shit?
I'm sure I can find. I have an
No,
iPhone.
I don't mean to fucking look at it and say what your screen time is.
I don't know.
But you can set screen times per app.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Instagram sucks your soul.
Oh, dude, I know.
And bro, it's weird because there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of stuff that sucks your soul.
Yep.
So I think I'm going to cap it to a half hour a day.
Yeah, post what you need to post.
Post what you need to post too, because the podcast and advertising for the
merch
business.
and all, yeah, of
there's
course.
shit that
It's a business.
It benefits me.
Yep.
And then also there are emails and shit that come through that like I do want to see.
Yes.
But you're fucking lying to yourself if you can't do that in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I've been lying to myself.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
I'm going to set that. And then I do better when I make commitments to either friends or in this case, publicly. For the next month, 30 minutes of Instagram or less a day.
Okay. I'll do it with you.
Okay.
Okay.
And we'll set it on the phone
Yep.
and then it'll say,
It'll set an alarm.
oh no, it like the app goes blank.
Oh, perfect. Even better.
And you can bypass it if
Yeah,
you want to
of course.
because it's your phone, you know?
Yep.
But it lets you know, hey, you hit your limit today. So, all
Okay.
right, fuck that app, dude.
Fuck that app.
You
Well,
know?
we're going to have to figure out a different way because the Viking app that I was trying to make,
Yeah.
I had a donation and shit for. No one will do the app. Like I talked to this one dude or a couple dudes rather, but this one dude in particular who was like, it's going to take a multitude of people working full time. So it's going to be
Very expensive
thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands. However,
Well, if anyone out there is in the field of creating apps and you have viable solutions, just hit them up, you know?
Yeah, hit me up because otherwise I'm just going to do it like on a website, like on Compassionate Viking website, and do it like a membership, and then try to get it to where it's just like a, you can look in there. You need a plumber. You want to do jujitsu. You need a doctor, a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to be a part of
Community taking care of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want some fucking apples? Cool. I got a bunch of hay. You want to trade?
Is it called Square?
It was, but it's just compassionateviking.com.
No. I'm saying there is an app that's like vetting businesses. And this is more, your vision is more of like taking care of your local community.
Yeah.
Like this would be the Snohomish County.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas Square is like, I believe it's called Square. I might have fucked that up.
But I
it's
guess
like-
it could be the whole thing, and then that way, say you're in North Carolina and you want to be part of the.
Well, no, I'm not saying your app would be specific to the county, but the way you log in,
Oh yes,
like, hey, this is my zip code. What resources are
right.
available?
Kind of like Craigslist, right?
Yeah.
You put in your own or marketplace,
Yeah.
so that you can zone into where you're at, and then maybe you're in Montana and you're looking for jujitsu. Say Andy Stump was a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, boom, click. I'm
Just
going there.
a network of a lot of different resources that's vetted as good people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That are part of this community.
No, I like that, bro. But the grid's going to go down soon, and you're not going to have any apps, so too
I know.
bad.
Too bad. Better get that fucking feather and ink.
That's fuck. I think we're at 3 hours,
Yeah.
so we'll wrap this up. Any final words? I think you
Mm-hmm.
just gave a good final word.
Yeah, those are my final words. If you want to get a hold of me, you can find me at Instagram at Tyler Stanaway and at Compassionate Viking. You can check out Forest School and donations at compassionateviking.com. And if you would like to listen to my podcast, it is the Compassionate Viking podcast on all platforms.
Fuck yeah. All right, bro. Are you sticking around training or are you out of here?
I'm out of here.
All right, later.